remember.
There is.
And the name of the corpse bitch was not it.
We didn't have time for names. We were doing important stuff, like ending the world.
Saving the world. Saving
There's
a lot of
world.
damage first before it gets saved.
Yeah, no, we're totally gonna save it.
So yes, if you would like the name of the corpse, that was Nell.
Nell! That's the bitch. Thank you.
I do have it written down.
Who was Hypatia then?
She was one of our suspects to interview.
She was one of the suspects.
Never interviewed because
we
immediately
killed Nell.
Yep.
She might have been my suspect. I got distracted by Nell.
Yeah, I think
there was a corpse. I couldn't think straight.
We went full aggro immediately.
I mean, you did and you didn't.
I know, we gave her half a chance.
You talked to her for like half an hour, which I respected.
Listen.
She was being so difficult. She wasn't answering any fucking questions.
Well, we threw off her plan, so of course she got stressed.
Things had to be done.
It's like a her problem.
It was, it was a lot. It was a lot going on for all of us, Nell included.
Her problem. I took her hands off. That I remember.
Listen, if she couldn't be responsible with her hands,
it could have been.
We can.
Listen,
we had to do a little bit of girl bossing. It's fine.
Thank you. She did plenty of gatekeeping and gaslighting, so we had to do the girl bossing.
We had to girl bossing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. I cannot wait to see what happens tonight. Rewatching the VOD was an experience. Also, hi Keegan. You're amazing, Keegan, and we are so glad you are here.
Yes.
Bless you, Keegan.
If you do not know, Keegan created this amazing game that we are playing. It is a Locked Tomb Lumen game called In Extremis, and we are delighted to be bringing episode 2 to you because, as everyone knows, I cannot really do a one-shot. They become a 2-shot or a 3-shot or who knows how many shots. It never ends.
Full campaign?
Full campaign.
Full campaign?
Full campaign?
Oh my god. Space Necro Girlies full campaign?
Campaign?
Get in the comments.
Okay.
I'm just saying we got some really cool new moves too.
Yeah.
And
we have to have time to dig into them. We have to let JD get all of his teeth, etc.
That is true. That is true.
You'll figure out what that means.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine given what those teeth can do.
It'll be great.
Nothing
what
bad
that
will
teeth
happen.
do.
They're great teeth, even.
And so, with that, hi, I will do our introduction. We are live from the apocalypse. We are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that raises money for aid organizations and progressive causes. Currently, we are raising money for Rainbow Railroad, which is an organization that helps queer people, and especially in this day and age, trans people get from unsafe environments to safer ones. We are currently fundraising for the Canadian branch, and we are hoping to be closing out that campaign with $1,000 in the coming months by the year's end. This particular game does offer some incentives. We will have a chance during introductions for everyone to share the special moves that Keegan made for each of us, me included. And each time you donate, you are going to add to our respective counter for that move. So, you not only get to help out a worthy cause, you also get to help us do chaotic things. And we really want to get unhinged and chaotic in this game. You good, Chrissy?
My uncle and my cousin borrowed my Papal Saw earlier, and I think they're bringing it back, and he hates my uncle.
Oh, buddy. And so with that, we do ask that you donate rather than do things like subscribe, because subscriptions mean that money goes to Jeff Bezos more than it goes to us / the organization that we are fundraising for. We'd rather it just go straight to them. If you do choose to subscribe, maybe you have an Amazon Prime sub that you want to throw our way, just be aware that Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill one dog for every month you are subscribed to our channel. It hasn't happened in a while, but I think it was the start of this month. It was pretty bad. It was like 40 dogs a week. So, like, don't contribute to that. Just give the money to Rainbow Railroad. When you do that, the McElroy brothers will yell specifically at me. I will be thrown off. So, especially if I am in the middle of a monologue, that's a great time to do it. And I think that is all of the stuff for that part. I think what I'm going to have us do next is to go around, remind us of who you are and who you are playing, and to share with the audience what your special move is. Let them know exactly what they will be supporting if they throw some money in the direction of Rainbow Railroad. I'm going to have Della, you go first. No, Della, you are muted.
Fuck you, I'm not muted, you're muted. Hi, I'm Della Collins. I'm playing Veilbinder, the Muscle Witch. And my my whole shtick is sword. I do sword and I do it hard. And the other thing the thing you can do if you donate, you can activate Veil's Sword of Souls. When you donate, I get to place a soul counter on my sword, and once per session, I can roll 2d6 plus those counters to cut away a debt or obligation someone has. And maybe it works. Or maybe it works with spice. That's the move. We'll find out some stuff. It's gonna be fun. It'll be fine, I'm sure.
That description was incredible. Maybe it
There you
works.
go.
Maybe it works with spice. We'd love to see it. All right, Kit, you are up next.
Hello. I am Kit. I am playing Petra this evening. She is the Seer playbook, and mayhaps tonight we will see that in a new light with Petra's spirit guardians. So if you so choose to donate, I might get a couple little spirit counters, and use those to just learn some things, just find out some little tidbits, and everything will go probably fine with that. Probably.
Would you say that you're just a little guy?
JD, thank you for asking, because I think I would say that I'm just a little guy, and these are all of my spectral little guys, and we're simply vibing. Thank you for asking.
I needed to.
It was important information. Thank you.
And Chrissy.
Oh, hi, I'm Chrissy, and tonight I am playing Antigone. Antigone is our resident Neuromancer. She does spicy shit with nerves. And if you were so generous as to donate, you might get to see Antigone's Torment Nexus, where I get to, if I hurt someone physically or emotionally, and she's pretty good at both, then I get to put an ouchie counter on her move, and I can use those counters to hurt people further, and I get to ask them a cute little question. A cute little question for the counters. And we love when Antigone interrogates people. It's a great time for everybody.
It truly is. It truly is. And this move just makes it so much better. And last but not least, Steph.
Hi, I'm Steph. I am playing Vesper. She is the Keratinist. And her special move, if you donate, or if she tries to fool someone, it is Vesper's Mystic Mirage. So if you donate, get a point on the follicle counter, because hair and nails. And she will create a 20-foot square scene to not harm, but fool people. It's the gaslight move, really.
We love to see it. And I, of course, am JD. I am playing everyone else, and my move, because I also get a special move, is Chekhov's jawbone. And so if you donate, I get to add a tooth to my tooth counter for Chekhov's jawbone. And that will let me do things like, introduce a new threat to a time and place where it does not belong, revive a fallen enemy using unnatural powers, or I can use 3 of those teeth to cause a spirit to rewrite history in the eyes of the public. I can also use them to possess an ally, turning them into an enemy. Why I would ever want to do those things, I don't know, but it's wonderful that I have options, and I'm excited. My players are all shaking their heads at me. I don't know why.
This is fine, Bonamess.
This is going to be great.
Bonamest, that is the name of the game. And so, with that, I think it is time for us to dive right into the action. We last played this game almost 2 months ago, and so I am going to do a recap that will help all of us in just a moment. Before we get to that, as you might have realized, given some of the descriptions of characters and the things they do, there are certain pieces of content that are likely going to show up. Body horror, for instance, is a big one. People doing unnatural things. People manipulating bone and muscle and nerve and hair and raising the dead and swinging swords. All of that will happen. There may also be manipulation and gaslighting as well, and general existential horror, the threat of war, things like that. So, as always, with any of our games, if that would be content you would not feel comfortable seeing, please do not hesitate to step away from this particular stream. We have plenty of other streams that do not include this particular content, but with that, we are going to jump in. And when we last began those few months ago, though it has been not that long in game, we began in the void of space. We saw stars and planets from the perspective of standing in the midst of a nebula. We saw
Yeah,
the ruins.
Justin,
had
fucking
fun.
grip it and rip it, baby. Slop
Thank
that
you,
down,
Keegan.
dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
Keegan, you both gave us amazing moves and donated money. Bless you. Absolutely incredible.
Now we have to use the moves.
Now we have to use the moves. Now we have no choice.
Things are gonna get weird.
Oh no, what a hardship.
And so, we will not be starting in space, but it is important to remember that we are on the edge of space. It is also important to remember the ruin of those 7 other planets. It's important to remember that spaceships, the behemoths, are made of flesh and blood and muscle and bone and move like whales through the sky. And that, well, there are some definite similarities between the world we are in and our own. This is not our world, though you would not know that from where we start today. Because where we start today is a building that could be any building in any city. It is tall, it has glass windows, though all of them are tinted to the point where we cannot see inside. And the building itself is made of what seems to be steel and iron, which only seems strange given some of the other substances we have seen used to create things, though maybe this is not surprising because this is the building that, at least at the moment, the council is using to make a decision about the current situation. And who would want to sit in the middle of a building that another necromancer sitting beside you could manipulate in some way? We move through one of the windows and see what essentially is a boardroom. There are 9 figures sitting around the table, and as we move inside, there are a number of hands raised. We do not have enough time to see which members voted or to even know what the vote was specifically for. But there are 5 hands raised that are quickly lowered. We feel the tension in the air, and we see suspicious and furtive looks being traded amongst those sitting at the table. Whatever has just been decided does not feel like a resolution, but majority rules, and the majority have voted. The director of Novum, the bone witch Kieran Bright, who sits at the head of the table, surveys the room, nods, and says, "So be it. Meeting adjourned." And he stands, and we follow him as he makes his way to the door, as the 8 remaining members of the council start to talk in furtive whispers that rise in volume, but not enough that we catch any specific words. As Director Bright steps outside the doors, shuts them behind him, and then leans against them with his eyes clenched tightly shut and just mutters, "Oh, fuck." We then see flashes of everything that happened these past few hours. We see the moment that each of you was brought to Novum, well, to the Humvee essentially that brought you to Novum for your mission, where you were tasked to find out how the Corvus Dominion could have possibly infiltrated the elite academy, and why a Haruspex saw a vision that indicated that it happened. You were each chosen as one of your particular branch of magic had been accused of being a part of whatever conspiracy had unfolded. And when you got there, after being introduced to Director Bright, you very astutely said, "Let's start by talking to the Haruspecs who had the vision and get the details directly from them." And Director Bright said, "That makes perfect sense," and went and got you Nell. And things got weird pretty quickly. You realized that what you had been sent here to do was not what was actually going on, that what Nell wanted, what Nell had been told to do. You're still not entirely sure what that line was, how much was her choice and how much was the decision of others, such as her mentor. But you realized what she wanted was for you to kill her so that she could be resurrected, so that a resurrected beast would be summoned. Because that would set off a chain reaction that would bring a resurrected beast into being that would be able to give you information that would end the war against the Corvus Dominion. After trying to talk things through, looking at all of the potential options, you ultimately decided to end Nell's life, though you did not promise to bring her back. Director Bright told you that he would be talking to the council about what to do. He said please, so maybe it went beyond just asking. There may have been a little bit of pleading as he asked you to not do anything rash, like resurrect Nell while he was gone at this meeting. You all vaguely agreed, and he left you to go handle whatever mess was unfolding in the council chamber. And while you were gone, you had the really good idea of combining your powers, Antigone and Petra, to see the vision that Nell saw. And the two of you, working together, saw Nell tell her mentor Elias about the vision. You saw the four of you fighting Nell in the gym of Novum. You saw Vale end Nell's life in that gym. And then you saw Nell being resurrected by other students that you didn't know or recognize, and asking them, is it done? You saw the fight with the first of the three resurrected beasts. You saw people you knew, mentors, family members, using their powers to take the first of these creatures down. And you heard that terrible singing of the third resurrected beast, the one that Nell had said was terrible but would give you the answers that were needed. And just the sound of those 1,000 voices. And then you saw the city in ruin. You saw the devastation that was caused. And you saw the headline of a newspaper stating that the Corvus Dominion were ended. And that is where we left you, with two of you sitting by Nell's head, two of you watching, and that is right where we are going to pick up.
Okay. So, what do we do with? What do we go resurrect, or someone's going to?
Yep.
We have to find them.
Why?
Yes. To finish this.
What, you think you can't do it?
Would changing it too much change the outcome?
I mean, we already changed the outcome. I didn't kill her. Wait, did I kill her? I did kill her. Never mind. Hold on.
You did kill her.
Scratch. I did kill her. I killed the shit out of her.
You
I
did.
did
killed
a
the
very
tits
good
off of
job.
her.
Yes.
I killed her stone dead.
Just pat.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
No, you did
Sorry,
an excellent job of murder, Vale.
I appreciate you saying so. It's hanging out with neuromancers, your memory goes funny.
A good murder is worth celebrating.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
We'll have champagne later.
So long as the world doesn't end.
So long as the world doesn't end. So, but here's what I'm saying. We've already changed it a little bit in that she didn't die in the gymnasium. She died in Bright's office.
She
I
indicated
didn't
that.
use that sick ass sword move that you saw in the vision. I just kind of stabbed her.
Well, she seemed to indicate that as long as she was killed before she left the office, it would still happen the way she saw it. The information given would be the same. It would be to end the Corvus Dominion.
All right.
I think regardless of if we finish this, or if the others finish it, we should still talk to them. They may have pertinent information.
Did you recognize any of them in your vision? Did they seem like pertinent, relevant people?
The people that resurrected her?
Yeah.
JD, did we? No. Okay,
Nope.
then
Yeah.
no.
Sort of look to Petra, or look to Antigone like, did you, no.
Mm-mm.
JD, correct. Did we have photos of the students we were originally supposed to interview, or do we just have names?
You had photos. It was not
Okay.
them.
That's what I wanted to double check on.
Yeah. Eddie is not involved in resurrecting now.
I mean, we can look if you really want. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel like we gotta. Also, who knows what's his face?
Right.
Bright's gonna come back and he's gonna give us permission to do it anyway, so.
But if he doesn't?
What if he doesn't? Yes.
Why would they not do
Then
it?
things are gonna get very interesting very quickly.
Well, they would have to do it because it's going to end the war.
Yeah,
Why would they
exactly.
not do
Why
it?
wouldn't they do that? I'm sure people in power have never ever continued wars just because, it might keep them in power for slightly longer. Who would do such a thing?
Well, this
Only
was a little
an
different.
absolute fucking sociopath.
Yeah, no, people who wind up in power in places that create wealth and resources from literal dead bodies would never ever do something so fucked up as perpetuate war for its own end.
I'm just
Yes,
saying.
but some people do not think through their actions. People get comfortable. They become cowards.
I'm just a soldier, man. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know things.
Well, you do need someone alive to resurrect the dead or use magic on the dead, and if everyone is eventually dead, there's none of that left. Therefore,
Look, I'm just I'm playing devil's advocate, right? Like we're asking like, oh, why wouldn't they? I'm just saying this is why wouldn't they?
fair
They
point.
probably will though. Bright seemed like a chill dude, right? He seemed chill.
He
they-
seems stressed, but I think that's our fault.
Oh,
He seemed scared.
If they don't, who here is okay with just a little rule breaking? Just a little bit of crime.
I might.
I don't like being told what to do. I'm just going to be very clear about that.
Look, here's what I say. If we can't, how far away are we from Bright's office right now?
Not that far. You're
Not that
still
far?
in Novum, so I mean, you're just going back down the halls. You know the way.
Cool. So if he says no, here's what we're gonna do. Which one of you is can like carry shit?
I thought that was you.
You?
It's me. I know it's me. Come on, hear me out. Who's the second best? Who's second best is what I'm asking. I was trying to be polite, but all right, we'll go there. Who the fuck is second to me?
I suppose either me or Vesper.
Sick. So here's what we're gonna do.
Take slight offense to that, but thank you.
All right.
Based on your
No offense,
voice and
Petra.
also the fact that you're a little guy, I took that literally.
Little guys can be beefy.
I couldn't
Can
remember. You
That's
got
fine.
soft little voice.
And what of it?
It's okay. Okay, you know what? You were very strong. You can also help carry the body. Maybe we should all
Yeah,
four
no,
carry
it's
a body.
fine. I don't even want to carry the body at this point. No, it's fine.
That's such a bad. Okay. Oh, hold on. You guys are ruining. I had a beautiful plan. It was gem-like in its perfection.
No, I don't even want to carry the body. What's your plan? I'm sure it's a great plan.
Here's the plan.
Okay.
The plan is what we're gonna do is if he decides, oh, I have a little dragon. Hi, little dragon. Hold on. Sorry. One moment. Hi, baby. Hi, little dragon. How you doing, baby? Bye bye.
Intuition for dragon.
Was that a little roar?
you as a little roar.
I kind of want to use the pet react, but that seems
You can.
inappropriate.
No, it's appropriate. It's appropriate. She's 18 months old. She's basically, it's not, I use the same voice with her as I do with the dog. It's fine. It's fine. I know what's up. All right.
What do you mean? That's not a kid. That's a dragon.
It's a little dragon.
Anyway, so here's what happens. What happens is
Mhm.
Brosivus comes back. He's gonna do some shit. Tell us, oh no. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have to throw up a wall about as fast as we can. Keratinist, you're gonna strip all of the shit out of my hair and nails as much as you can. Whatever you can do, you're gonna throw up a wall as fast as you can. He's a bone witch. It'll take him a slight second longer to take that wall out. By that, but then it would if it was bone. But by that point, I am going to be hammering him with everything I've got. I'm just going to straight up try to murder him. You three take the body, run back to his office, dip through that rip in the veil that's still in his office with the body, get to somewhere where you can resurrect her. I will be dead by then.
Okay, I don't like that. I do believe we're going to need your help when it comes to fighting other things. I feel like Bright is only a minor concern in comparison to what we have upcoming once we do the resurrection. So, like, your death is really inconvenient for the rest of us.
It'll be super inconvenient to the rest of you, and you should go find Oz. Oz is chill, so tell him that, I sent you. It'll be fine, and, it'll be great.
Would Oz still be chill if we're potentially branded war criminals for this?
Could Oz potentially die instead?
No, because he's not here. That's the thing. I am here. I am the shield of meat. So, I'll slow him down. Maybe I don't die. Maybe I, dumbass muscle witch, don't die going toe to toe with the head of Novum Academy. It's possible. Motherfucker could just trip over his own shoelaces and fuck up his whole day on the edge of my sword by accident. I don't think that's likely. I'll be realistic with you. I've got lots of bravado. That man will I will be shoes. He will turn me into shoes.
You would make beautiful boots. I worry though that
my
in
mom
all
always
of
says
the
so.
Smart woman. I do have the concern though that if we allow the director to say no, to return here with the intent to say no, that he may see it pertinent to do away with the body. And then where will we be?
So then I guess the other option is we just do it here. Fuck it. Go loud. Do it now. We can do that. Right?
How soon in the vision you both saw, how soon does the first monster appear?
You couldn't tell. It was disjointed. It was in flashes. You know it happens after, but there was nothing temporally that would tell you when.
That is such a good question. Unfortunately, I don't think we have a satisfactory answer, do we?
So it was all quite unclear.
That's the problem with visions. Visions is great. Right up till they ain't. That's my wisdom. So we could do we do it. We wait, either wait till he gets back and says yes or no, and we cope with the answer however best we do, or we do it now. But I suspect this is not my field, y'all. I suspect we're gonna be better off with necromancers who know a lot more about what they're doing than we do.
It certainly seemed like Nell's group, from the way you described them, knew how to bring someone back.
Yeah, I ain't got a fucking clue about how to do that, y'all.
I mean, I have theories, but they've never been practiced.
Yeah, because of the monsters. It's not really practiced or taught.
Laws, mostly.
Missing knowledge over centuries.
That's less of an issue. It would be more beneficial to have the others. I think I could find them.
So that's also an option. We do that. We can maybe find the others. We can maybe do that. We did tell Bright, or we strongly implied to Bright that we wouldn't.
Implied, I thought we were agreeing
To not?
to wait until he came back.
We strongly implied that we would. We strongly implied that we would do that. I don't know that we promised.
I got into a fight with an osteomancer a few years ago. My fingers are permanently crossed. I think we're good, as long as I do it.
Sick.
I think we could take a limited amount of time and try to find these others, but if it becomes difficult,
Fuck it,
I'm
let's
not
do it.
opposed to trying it myself, as long as no one else is opposed to breaking the rules.
I love a little rule breaking.
I quite like the way you think.
I would very much like to come back here, like as an actual
Mhm.
student and not as, whatever the fuck this is. So, but for that to happen, it has to continue existing. So,
Yes, well, if we change the course of fate and save the world, then I suppose that they would be very remiss not to let us in.
you'd think, right?
Oh,
Right. I'm just, fuck it. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's do it.
Talking to them would be
Well,
fine.
talking to them, give ourselves perhaps half an hour. If we cannot find them, simply do it ourselves.
And we have no concerns leaving the body unattended.
I have concerns.
I have a little concern, yes.
Plenty of concerns. I mean, we could take her with, although that some may find that off-putting.
I think that would be extremely off-putting to her fellow classmates.
What
We
if?
could hide it.
I just had a really dumb idea.
I do love your dumb ideas.
Yeah, it's a really dumb idea. Yo. Are there other bodies? We're in a morgue, right? Are there other bodies here?
How many bodies we got?
How many bodies?
I mean, this is a planet of necromancers.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And so you have had Nell has been out on a gurney, but you do notice that there are morgue drawers. If you start opening them, you find... You know what? Let's do a dice roll to decide how many bodies you find.
Yes. I'm looking for some specific character features.
You find 6 bodies.
So,
Which is strange, because Director Bright did indicate the morgue is not often used.
oh, interesting. Okay, six. Cool. I'm gonna cruise right past that because I'm not a clever woman. I'm gonna say, so there's this ancient legend from back before the fall called Face Off. About
We take their faces off and change them?
yeah.
I'm
mean,
going
it's
to
not
allow
like-
it.
I think I'm in love.
Protest.
I don't think we should.
Here's the thing: we have a
her face
keratinist.
off.
We have a keratinist. Could you simply change their faces? Do you think that's something you could do?
I don't know if we want to. How much we want to change her body?
We could put it back.
Do we have one that matches, more or less?
But just the face. Who
Well, no, we don't
opens
need
a
the
morgue
face,
drawer
we just-
all the
we just
way?
we just put the yeah. Well, it just needs to be, broadly.
Do they go in
broadly-
head first?
Usually feet first.
Feet first, so we need the heads to look the same.
Why not simply swap her out into a different drawer?
Yes, but if they open the drawers, if they notice that the one that we've left out does not look like the one that we should have left out, I
Has
worry
she
that we are in a
told
place of...
instead
Make
of face
awesome for a
swapping,
moment.
perhaps. I just don't want to make too many changes and risk what happened not what's supposed to happen not happening.
If you
Because
don't
then
want
all
to,
of this is for nothing.
well, then if you don't want to take the risks, then we just walk away. If you don't want to take the risks, we walk away, and
We
we
should at
let
least put her
these
away.
five. No, if we want to take the risks, we walk away. She's dead. Let the other people resurrect her. Boom, done.
Oh
We
yeah,
hang
Concern
out.
is that
no, we said we would. We never said we wouldn't allow someone else to do
Yeah.
the resurrecting.
Oh hey, those mooks you saw in the thing, are those bodies?
oh
That would have to be their
beings.
bodies, would they?
Hey God.
It's me, a little
Hey,
guy.
God.
Hey God, are those the bodies
Hey,
from the vision?
casual highs lows.
Oh, real casual. Real casual.
Oh, I'm gonna
Low.
cry.
Lows, okay.
Low.
Those are not the bodies.
Oh, thank
Oh,
God.
thank God.
Sake.
Whew, that's a win for us, y'all.
Yeah,
They are potentially still alive.
We walk away.
Okay, realistically, while we're talking about all these things and hiding the bodies and going to talk to people, how much time are we expecting to have before Bright comes back? I feel like we do not have an infinite amount of time.
No, because this is a very urgent matter, so I imagine he would have taken the fastest transport and then convened an emergency vote, and then they voted,
Yes,
and then
but
come back
bureaucracy
here.
takes ages.
Yeah, he's had an interdepartmental meeting. He's going to be gone for another 3 hours.
That's so much red tape.
At the very least, I say we should put her in a drawer. Whether we take another out in her place is, I suppose, up to our resident keratinist. How much we're open
How
to
long do-
changing that body. If you're not,
Pet-
if you're opposed to changing Nell, are you opposed to changing someone else to look like Nell?
No, I can do that.
Petra.
Why would they look for Nell if Nell's already out here?
Petra.
Yes, darling.
How long can the body be dead before you can do the spooky resurrecting acquire beast thing?
Oh, a decent amount, I imagine. Hour or two, right? God, I would know this. I would have theories at least, right?
You would have theories. Yeah, you would know that
Okay.
it definitely gets more and more difficult the longer time has gone by, but you're not in the danger zone yet. We would be talking days. That would be a concern, not,
Yeah.
an extra
If we do
hour.
it today, we're probably fine.
I will also say that you're not entirely sure of how long true resurrection would take, but you do imagine that would be at least an hour to 2 hours at minimum. So
The spell
you do know
itself.
that you're on a time crunch if that is the path that you want to be on and you're trying to do this before Director Bright returns.
Okay. All right. So yes. So if the concern is that we beat Director Bright back here, we should get a move on in the next. We should be back here probably within the hour or two. If the concern is simply to resurrect her, we have a number of hours, if not days, likely.
I think we wait for Bright. Here's why I think we wait for Bright. I kind of want to fight him.
We could fight him after.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He comes back, he says yes, and then that's fine, and
And then
then maybe I get to fight him later. He comes back and says no, and I get to fight him now. For me, it's a win-win.
This
I say we
is
wait.
fair. I suppose he would come back either way. He wouldn't know that we've done it, would he?
The living body there also can't you guys sense when big shiny magic happens? And they're like a vibe shift.
It may send him running towards us. Then you would get to fight him regardless.
I'm saying this is all wins. This is all wins for Vale.
I will not stand in the way of your bloodshed.
What I say we wait. Because I'm a fucking I'm a I'm a soldier. This is my opportunity to find out if all of the soldiers who went before me died for nothing. If this man comes back and says no, that will tell me something. That they're not actually interested in winning this war. I want to know that the sacrifice I am ready to make, that hundreds and thousands of millions of people have made before me, was worth a goddamn thing. But you know what? Hey! Maybe they'll all die and the resurrection beast comes back anyway. It could be fine. Could be fun. It's all good.
Well, wait.
We can get our ducks in a row first, but we don't have to actually do anything for, as I said, a number of hours, if not days. You don't have to do the ritual.
Let's
Yet.
assume we have hours, not days.
What do we need? Let's get it ready for when he comes back.
I think if these other students know anything, they would be beneficial to have. Aside from that, I suppose there's a limited number of artifacts that might be helpful, but I mean, we are in the most revered place of learning, though shouldn't be difficult to find.
Let's find her friends.
This will be fun.
And so, where do you begin your search?
I mean, what time of day is it? Where are the students going to be?
It is the afternoon. You would assume they are mostly in classes. You had briefly kind of crossed paths with a handful of them, including your brother, Antigone, during lunch, effectively. And so you know that they are in whatever the second part of their day looks like at this point.
I think Petra would argue to go to wherever the most students are congregated, because one of my moves might help suss out which of them is beneficial.
Yeah.
Because I have willing spirits. I can just sort of read the spirits of other living folks and figure out who is potentially useful to me in a crowd. I feel like that might be relevant here. Just wandering creepily down the halls, back and forth, looking at everyone.
I absolutely love that. And
I have scary dog privilege with my 3 girlfriends behind me.
Only 2. Vale disappears at some point.
interesting.
Okay. All right. Bold choice. We love to see it.
And so, Petra, you are trying to find where the most students are congregating. Ironically, what you discover is that the most students are actually in the gym. And what appears to be happening in this moment might be some sort of sport. It might just be a sparring contest. It's a little hard to say. Everyone is doing things, spells are flying everywhere. Hair and nails are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. People are collapsing on the floor, swords are flying. It does strike you, Petra, though perhaps it's not surprising, that you are not seeing as many seers there. Now, as you might recall, ghosts and spirits are very much contained at Novum. So
There are no ghosts
Their
in Bossing Say.
powers would be not as useful. The energy tonight. Della, really? My entire cast is coming for me at once.
I'm sorry. I'm not
No,
sorry.
it's
I'm sorry.
amazing.
Oh,
There are so
man.
many. I've just been sitting here going, I want to clip every moment that has happened so far, but I can't clip an entire VOD.
It is becoming more and more difficult to play the quiet stoic character. Okay. Got this.
And so, Petra, I would absolutely love for you to use this move. What does it look like?
I think because there are not many spirits here, or there are no spirits here, because there was a couple that we had seen in the office, but those are gone, right? They're contained over there, right?
Yep, they are contained.
Okay.
It is 13 ghosts over here.
It is 13 ghosts.
You've
Is that
never
is
seen
this
the
It's a
containment
reference to
cubes?
the movie 13 Ghosts.
Listen, we didn't have these moving pictures where I'm from. I'll put it on the list. No, so I think it looks different than it typically would in that case. I think typically this is a lot of like muttering to people who are very unseen and then having them go out and like scout and be little like gremlin spirits. But I think it looks very, very different. It is definitely like Petra sort of like walking sort of back and forth, probably around like by the door, around the edge of the gymnasium, wherever she can be unseen in the shadows. Just sort of, like hands clasped behind her back, just sort of pacing and watching everybody. And without the distraction of the actual spirits that are beyond the veil and poking through it, I think it is perhaps a bit easier for Petra herself to see the spirits that still reside in flesh mechs, as it were. So I think it's a very sort of like unsettling, quiet pacing that's happening. If anyone tries to like talk to her, ask a question, it's like but she's very quiet, she's intent, she's studying every single person, and just like sidestepping a sword strike, just like goes back to pacing.
And we're going to pause on you for a moment, Petra, as you are surveying the students and probably sparring practice, although as you do look closer, like they do have the colors of red and black. So like there is one team going against the other. So there is some sort of team component, though nobody is helping each other. It is very much one-on-one fighting.
I have to tally points somehow.
I'm curious, as Petra is doing this, what are Vesper and Antigone doing?
Vesper's just kind of like running over everything in her head, just like, okay, this outcome can happen from this, and this could be this, and Vale raised some good points, and everyone raised some good points, but she's kind of stuck on the number of bodies in the morgue, because she would notice something like, oh, it's not really being used, but there's 6 bodies already there that's kind of being used. She's kind of like leans into Antigone and then realizes she might be leaning too close given that they're no longer dating, and then just kind of leans back a little bit and then it's just like, did you find it strange that there were 6 bodies in the morgue?
I did. I was wondering how long they have been dead for, but it just occurred to me that in a school full of necromancers, that's kind of hard to tell.
It would be, yes. It just stuck out because the director said the morgue wasn't really in use. Maybe I'm overthinking everything again.
I mean, if they've been dead for, 6 years, I suppose it barely is, but why would you keep a dead body around that long? I mean, I guess it is useful. Again, school of necromancers. I don't, but no, you're right. It is a little suspicious.
Maybe I'm just adding problems to the big one we already have, and we don't really need to. It just. Are you doing okay with this whole situation?
Well, ever since I found out it wasn't my brother, I'm feeling much better about it.
I would imagine, yeah, that's a big relief.
But I mean, I don't think any of us are okay with the idea of fighting a resurrection monstrosity. That there's nothing about that is okay. But at the same time, I don't know, maybe Vil is going to find it a little fun. They seem to have a very concerning lack for their own safety. Concerning, but also fun. So, like,
They'd find something fun about it, I'm sure. It is daunting, I will admit. Just to have the war ending being tied to such a creature that can cause even more harm than the war already has. But it should be worth it to end the war, right?
yeah. I just hope that we to manage a successful win. But I suppose either way, everyone's doomed, so might as well go down swinging.
Well, at least with this method, we know there's a chance, fairly strong chance based on the vision, that it'll work.
I don't know. If it does work, we'll be held as heroes. Seems like a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot, yes.
Got the whole world on our shoulders.
Say, I remember that's not something you really. Well, I don't suppose anyone really enjoys that amount of responsibility.
Huh. Are you flirting with me? Reminding me of good times.
Well, if we may all be about to perish or suffer untold horrors before the end, would it be so bad if I was?
I love a good last night on Earth. Okay. But the claws have to come out.
I can bring the claws out for you.
Meow.
With the cat sounds, Antigone. Very flustered, which is like you can tell it's definitely something that this is a pattern of just like really.
Your blush just stayed adorable.
I'm sorry for how things went.
I mean, especially after seeing I kind of am too. I'm not big on apologies, you know that. Those are difficult, so I will say I'm sorry, but know how hard those words were to come out of my mouth. It was required a lot of force.
I appreciate that very much, Antigone. That you could survive that struggle for me. Wasn't Vale here?
She was. I'm telling you, concerning lack for her own physical safety. It is quite extreme.
I don't know what those they train them over there, but they've certainly trained over the top with Vale. No, we shouldn't leave Petra. Okay.
Maybe Petra can send one of her little ghosty friends to go looking.
Yes, let's
Okay.
ask her to do that once she's done doing her scanning thing that she's doing.
Yes. And
I imagine at this point she just walks up behind you silently. Just pops up between you.
You're like
Full
a freaking
Wednesday
cat.
Addams.
Just instinctively like pops the nails and it's just like, okay. That's maybe now is not the best time for sneaking up on people. Petra, what you sense?
What did I sense? Have I found them, God?
What did you sense? That is a question we are going to answer in just a moment. But before we do, where has Vale gone?
So in flashback, what you see is as everyone's walking to try to go to people, they like turn a corner and then they turn another corner, and as they turn that corner, Vale's like just like walking in place, and then when they don't turn back around, like scoots back around, and is actually just parks her ass right in front of the morgue door. I'm waiting for our boy Bright, or I'm waiting for one of her friends to show up and gather her body out of the morgue. I figure it's even odds that
Incredible.
one of them's going to show up.
Okay. And so we have Vale back there at the morgue.
Mhm.
We have the three of you in the gym. Petra, you have been looking around, scanning the crowd, and it's a little hard at first because there are so many people. You realize this must be mandatory for pretty much like most of the entire school. Like, we're talking, maybe everyone, but effectively seniors, and you're starting to notice soft glows around people. And what gets hard is that they're not around everyone, but they are around enough that you're really having to slow down and look and see how strong that is, because there are so many people here who could be helpful for you. There are specific people that you are looking for. And it isn't until you kind of settle in and really assess, was that glow brighter than that one? Like, where are those brightest spots? That you start to pinpoint three individuals. You see one of them manipulating bones. You see one of them manipulating blood. And you see one of them that has to be a neuromancer because they are not making any contact with the person they are fighting or using anything visible to affect them, but their opponent is dropping down on their knees and falling to the floor. And other than that, there isn't really anything. If you couldn't see the glow, these wouldn't be people who would stand out to you. They look like they're maybe on the slightly older side of students, but not the oldest. They don't have any. In this world, it's a little hard to say, like, they don't have any particular features that would stand out because, well, the aesthetic choices here are, of course, quite noticeable, but you kind of center in on those three, and it surprises you because it isn't until that moment that even though you've been staring at them, scanning the crowd, looking for those friends, you know what the faces look like. You saw the vision, and you realize in that moment that maybe in part because Nell was just coming back from the dead, the vision was blurry. You couldn't really make out their features, but as you stare at each of those three, you're certain those were the three standing over her.
Excellent. I think in her sort of wandering about and getting eyes on them, I think she would have tried to, like, at the very least, I mean, she has no spirits to, send a message for her. But I think she would have, tried to do that thing where you stare at a person long enough and eventually they will turn around and, like, look at you, and it happens every time. Um So I think she would try to make eye contact with any of them, and A, see if they recognize her for some reason. But B, just significant look, nod over to the sidelines. Like, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm not trying to come pull you off the field and make a big scene, but we need to talk. And hopefully the air of mystery is enough to intrigue them into action. But if they don't, follow any sort of indication like that, we can figure something out as a team. But Petra will sort of come back to the group very creepily. I have found them. They are on the field. It's just a matter of getting them to come with us.
Are we going to talk to them directly?
Do you have a way of talking to them indirectly?
No.
Hmm.
I guess the question I'm moving to, are we talking to them right now? Are we being open? Are we, what should we say? Oh my. Mowgli hears a fake growl in my voice and decided to chime in.
But
He's
Well, I-
helping.
don't think we'd want to talk to them in here, or at least not near the group.
No, I do favor a secondary location.
Okay.
Don't want to make a scene, do we?
No.
How many were there?
Just the three. But
So
I
one
didn't
for
find all
each
of
of
them.
us.
Well, each of us.
Yeah, our friend has gone missing. I don't suppose you're able to scry out wherever they're at, are you?
I didn't see them in here.
Well, we could backtrack as we talk to those three.
I have a feeling she hasn't gone far.
I hope she doesn't do something absurd while she's alone. I do love a good show.
Then we ought to get back to her.
Well, approach. If you want to point out the three, I suppose I recognize one of their faces.
Yeah, I think, Petra would turn back to the crowd, and if none of them have started, making their way towards her, she would subtly point out the three, very, very carefully.
I will say you got the vibe that at least one or two of them, despite the fact that you're in relatively the same like age proximity,
Mhm.
maybe wondered if like you were some sort of scout, like checking them out to see how they were performing. So
That's fine.
they haven't necessarily approached you because they're thinking that like you are there taking notes on their performance and they just want to impress you, so they are fighting harder.
Oh, that's quaint. Yeah, Petra will like point them out. Sort of like getting that vibe doesn't feel necessarily as like the need to like keep it as subtle as that, because of course, if we're scouts, we're going to be talking amongst ourselves, pointing out the good ones. So yeah, I think there's sort of like a side chat and a nod or whatever. And then just like, pointed eye contact and just like a come here. Like I'll come get you if I have to. I don't want to. I didn't wear my fighting skirt for this.
Absolutely incredible. We are going to move away from the gym for a moment because, Vale, you have been standing guard and you have been waiting to see, will anyone approach? And it isn't too long, maybe 20 minutes after you took up your post, that you hear footsteps coming towards you.
All right. I'm gonna sort of lean against, sort of like the side of the door, see, facing the direction down the hallway where the footsteps are coming from.
You see that it is, in fact, Director Bright. He doesn't, it's clear he does not expect to see you there because as he turns the corner and comes into view, his shoulders are slumped. He's even kind of dragging his feet. He clearly does not expect there to be any eyes on him, although when he realizes you are standing there, he immediately straightens up and takes on the more professional demeanor and nods at you and says, setting up a guard post, that was a good idea.
Seemed reasonable. Wanted to see who was gonna come by. What's the word?
They said no.
Interesting. Why?
On the record or off the record?
Let's go with off the record. Not really interested in recording shit at this point. I think we're far enough off the beaten path that we can dispense with things like records.
I mean, off the record, it's speculation on my part. It doesn't seem like some people on the council think it's worth ending the war.
What do you think?
About ending the war or not ending the war?
Yeah.
I think there is no point in prolonging a conflict that has caused the needless suffering of so many and ended so many lives. What we've been doing hasn't been working, and We don't know exactly what type of devastation one of these creatures could do, but if it could give us the answer, why not? Fuck it.
What will it take for you to stand by that opinion? You got rank. You got everything. There ain't shit I can give you. Like, let's be real. I ain't nobody. What will it take for you to fucking stand up for yourself? Fucking stand up for what you actually believe in.
You're not wrong that I have more power than you do, Vale, but I don't have as much power as you think I do. I just happen to be the best at what I do. When the previous council member of the School of Osteomancy fell. And I just happened to be the director of Novum because a whole month after getting that promotion, we cycle through to the next one, and that just happened to be me. So I'm not here because I've made my way up in rank. I'm here because of a series of coincidences that could have landed anyone here. But what will it take for me to stand by those words? I think that depends on what exactly you're asking me to do. If you're asking me to look aside and not intervene, if you're asking me to be a direct party to this. And I only say that because things are fucked, and if I could have some plausible deniability, it might go a long way for whatever's coming.
So I had this plan. That could be improved upon to provide you with a certain amount of plausible deniability. Might involve spraying some arterial blood around. Might involve really fucking up your office. But what we need is a free space to work as far away from people, innocent people, as possible. Because if this is gonna work, if this is gonna work, and we try to summon somebody in the middle of fucking Novum, all these fucking people are gonna die. And wouldn't it be better if only more dumbasses did instead? Or 5, if you would like to join us. 4 dumbasses and a very brilliant man. You are very smart. You believe me when I'm saying this.
I think that last part kind of takes away that plausible deniability that we talked about.
Okay, all right, yeah, no, I'll like, I don't know, beat you up or something. I will, yes, I can definitely take on you. That is completely plausible. I find that plausible. I find that plausible. Her voice cracks, fully cracks, like a teenage boy.
He looks at you, and it's with a bit of sad amusement. And pity isn't quite the right word, but it's the closest one I can think of, and says,
It's the look you give. It's the look you give someone like when like a teenager kind of has a crush on you, and you're like, oh, puppy.
exactly.
You see the oh puppy look. Yeah, that's fine.
And just says, I don't think that plan is going to be necessary in that way, Vale, but if you would like to stab me, sure.
No, no, no. I look. Yes, but you know, we can. Um. Sorry. Give me like 2 seconds to reassess some priorities. Okay. Right. End of the world. So we are where we need a place to work. Where we got to get away from here. Is there anything you can do to give us that? If you can come with us and help us, yes, that would be amazing. If all you can do is give us a place to go and say, I don't know, those wily bitches ran away, then that's also great. You know, like, but yes, that's what we need. Fundamentally, we need to be able to get out with this body somewhere safe. And then we can end this fucking war. We can end the Corvus Dominion.
I can't imagine that it's going to be quick, Vale. This is going to be the start of a different sort of war. And I know that is what you are made for.
I am. You described to me a whole bunch of circumstances that happened to you that got you here. Wouldn't you like to happen to something?
I see your point. All right. A place to do the ritual. God, I did not think that I would be becoming a war criminal today. Okay.
Hey, it's only war criminal if you lose.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's do Vale.
Yeah.
I need you. I just need you to promise me like one thing right now.
Huh?
While we've been having this conversation, Your friends haven't been resurrecting Nell, right?
Now that would be really sick, but no.
Cool. Okay.
No, that would be
Great.
really fucking funny. I really wish we were clever enough to be doing that, but I actually convinced them not to do that. I actually did convince them to wait for you.
Why?
I wanted to know what they said because I know, like you know, what it means that they said no. I thought either way, I am built to die winning this war. And maybe that would start here. No offense.
None taken.
So yeah, they went to go find the kids they saw in that vision. I figured it was even odds that they would get here to try to resurrect her, or you would get back. So I stayed.
Yes, well, the meeting doesn't go particularly long when over half of the room has already made up their mind.
What do you want to do?
Hey, Vale.
Yeah. Wait, was that in character or not? Because
That
Vale
was
does
in
not.
character.
Okay,
Yep.
Vale does not say yes like that. Yes.
You were said you were built to die for this war one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the outcome you want?
I live in a world full of fucking necromancers. I'm not afraid to die.
That's not what I'm asking.
No, I want to win. If dying means winning, then fuck yeah. Throw me in a fucking incinerator. Nah, I'm here to win. I ain't dying. I ain't dying. Unless it means winning.
Just thought I'd ask that because, I don't know. I think the world might be a better place if you're around.
You're gonna make me blush. Poses on her great sword.
Okay. I am going to arrange for a vehicle. You and he pauses and he looks at the morgue and then back at you. I think you're right. I don't think we should leave the body unattended. Do you trust me to hold on to the body for the moment?
I'll need something. I I I I want to trust you, man. I want to trust you, but I don't know you from the next guy. I'm gonna need something.
He doesn't look surprised. He just nods. I get it. I mean, Yeah, I fucking get it. I wouldn't trust me either if I were you in this situation. So I could see a couple of options, but
I want your
what if
finger. Give me a part of your body. I'm not fucking around here. I want real vulnerability, man. I want to be able to ruin your whole life if you betray me.
I was just going to say that I would swear on your sword, but
Nah, bitch, this is steel. Give me your body parts. We are necromancers.
he looks impressed.
I pay attention when Petra talks, man.
I'm proud of you, baby.
I love you, baby.
All right, yeah, fuck, okay, I will give you my finger. Sure. Do you have a
I'm
particular one
sorry,
in mind?
Della Collins cannot believe this is working. I've got to take a moment. I cannot believe this is working. Yeah, cool. Yeah, doesn't need to be just pinky finger. It's fine. I want to, but I need. I need you to understand this is for real. You're an osteo. You can reattach it. You'll be fine.
Honestly, it probably makes me sound like I've gone off the deep end that I'm willing to even do this, but Vale, you have been let down by so many people. And if this is what it takes to show you that I'm not going to be one of those people, then fuck it, it's a bone. And he just snaps his pinky, severs the bone, closes it over with a coating of bone so he's not spraying blood everywhere, and hands it to you.
Takes it, sort of puts it in a pocket, nice and safe. Okay. Trust.
And I'm trusting you that if I do what I'm saying I'm gonna do, you don't ruin my entire day. And I'd like that bone back at some point.
Oh yeah. No. If we meet again, you're getting that back. That's fine.
I mean, we're gonna meet again because I'm driving the getaway vehicle, so like,
Hell yeah,
I'm
you
not
are.
going far.
Fuck yeah, high five. Well, that might hurt, but elbows.
He gives you a fist bump.
Yeah.
And he says, all right, I'm gonna take Nell, gonna commandeer a vehicle, meet me in the garage, 15 minutes, we're getting the fuck out of here.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah. And she's gonna turn, sword, book it towards where her friends are.
And that, I think, is where we are going to take our break before we go into the second part of this body heist and resurrection. And maybe fight a resurrection beast. I guess we'll see if we get to that point in today's session. Or if we have to, do a third one, maybe a fourth one.
One day, JD will do a one-shot.
Long-standing series, get in the comments.
It's extremely on Locked Tomb brand for it to unexpectedly take way longer than necessary.
That is very
It's
true.
true.
So do not go anywhere. We will be back in 10 minutes.
No,
Bring us back on pickled fish bones?
No, listen.
Yes.
When you buy
Uh-huh.
like the cheap tins of canned salmon, they have
Yeah.
like the whole spine and rib assembly in there.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think
So-
they intend for you to eat them.
Yeah, I mean you can take them out, I guess, or
If you're bored.
or
If you're a fucking coward.
if you're a fucking coward, or you're not concerned about the amount of calcium you're getting in your diet. So you know, you make your tuna fish sandwich, which I guess is a salmon fish sandwich in this case. So you make your sandwich, or you make your whatever, and you just crunch up the bones, and they're fine.
Well,
Well,
aren't they sharp and little is the point?
I mean, they're yeah, if they were like raw and shit, but no, they're like pressure canned in like some kind of horrific.
Oh, so they're not gonna like stab you.
No, I mean
Yeah,
you
I mean, I
could
don't
get
see a problem with that.
unlucky, but like you could get unlucky with anything.
That's true. That's true. You can get unlucky with most things.
Like, so yeah, no, they're fine. They're fine. You just crunch them on up, and they're
Yeah.
you know, it's just texture. It's like
It certainly is.
Yeah, next time your parent says, "Did you eat something crunchy today?" Just say the bones and the fish.
I ate the bones
You
in
thought
the can of cheap
Yeah.
salmon.
They weren't crunchy when
that
I got
bought
to them.
from the dollar store.
You were talking about veggies? Nah, bones.
Ah. Pickled fish bones.
Pickled fish bones.
The more you know.
Oh yeah, when you get like pickled, some types of pickled herring and a lot of tin like canned sardines and stuff like that, they still have the spines in them.
It's
They're
just the
not
whole
like
guy,
taking the
yeah.
time. They're not taking the time to get those out. They'll take the guts out,
Ah.
but they're not going to take out the little bones. They're so tiny.
That's the structural integrity, right?
It's just hard. It's just hard to get
It's
out
too much
those little
effort.
bones.
Just
Too much
slap them in a
effort.
can.
Slap them in a can.
It's really good.
People won't notice. They'll chew them up, or they'll swallow them whole, and that's even better.
It's great.
Is
It's-
it?
eh.
From the perspective of the manufacturer, probably they've already been paid.
If they want them out, they can take them out themselves.
There you go.
Precisely.
I have learned so much, and I've never been more grateful that I'm a vegetarian.
Listen, I am here to validate everyone's choices.
Listen, bones isn't meat. And I
Bones
live by that.
Bones.
Bones are not meat. Hear that, JD?
I do
Bones
hear
aren't
that.
meat.
The more you know. You know.
The more you know. I'm gonna take a moment to get myself back in gear for this.
I feel like this is.
Do you think Kieran can manipulate fish bones? And then follow-up question, do you think Kieran can manipulate pickled fish bones?
Yes.
Just like asking for a friend. Okay. Cool.
We established that Kaz can manipulate eggs. So yeah, like something made of bones, Kieran can
Eggshells,
definitely
not the whole egg,
manipulate.
though.
Why? Why?
Just
There's a
the shell, as long as it
completely
is
different
shelled.
cellular structure. No, hold on.
No, eggshells are
Okay.
made of the same components that are in bone.
Can he do teeth?
No, because teeth are
Different
not made
components.
up of the same thing that are in bone.
Eggs is closer to bones than teeth is.
Correct.
The more you know.
Oh no.
Wait, really? Because I did a science experiment about like what liquid degrades teeth, which what we thought we used eggs. And orange juice is what like the worst.
For your bones, yeah.
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 It's just. I mean, citric acid and calcium carbonate are gonna you know.
Mm.
They're
fucking
gonna
up
have a right
memory
party right there.
shenanigans.
Yep.
Hello. Oh. Pardon me. One moment.
It is time for crimes.
More
Saccharin.
ice cream?
No.
Oh, boo.
Yeah.
Passing on the secrets of the universe.
No. He. Yeah. Welcome to osteoporosis chat. Yeah. No. We. It's just cool facts. Everyone should read the Song of the Cell is what I'm saying, because there's a lot of shenanigans about stem cells that go on in your bones and your joints, and
Mhm.
there's everything is much more. Life is real precarious, y'all.
Tell me about it.
You should read Song of the Cell by Siddhartha Mukherjee. It's good. Anyway.
Is it going to make me contemplate many ways that I could die instantly? Is that what you're saying? Because I do that all the.
The contemplation, maybe. Death will take time.
Horrifying discussion. Still, the more you know. I was just going to grab my bone book, but that's on the other side of the room, so.
Wild.
Listen,
the fish bones are closer to cartilage, according to Keegan.
Oh.
There you go.
Thank you, Keegan.
Thank you.
Author of this delightful game. Yes. Spitting bone facts.
We love a good bone fact.
We love bone facts here.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and I apologize to anyone who follows the Twitter and the fact that there have not been bone facts in so long.
There's so many bone facts.
Now we have a new bone fact that we can throw out here.
Tweet it, attribute it to Keegan.
Of course. Oh
yeah, we do everything with attribution here.
Yeah, of course.
All right, and so with that, diving right back in. Vale, you were about to rejoin the trio who have been in the gymnasium sussing out those friends of Nell. You get maybe 3 steps down the hall before Kieran calls your name. Doesn't so much call it. He just says your name.
Kieran?
Director Bright.
Right, okay. Turn around.
Do you want to know how Oz voted?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I think there's a second where Vale just like freezes it for a second, and there's like this like you don't even see the war happening. It's sort of like you know,
yeah,
just like
Justin, fucking grip it and rip it, baby.
Found.
Slop that down,
and
dude.
then
Yeah, dude, crack
down.
one for the big boy.
Just goes.
Thank you for the donation.
Thank you so much for the donation.
Thank you for the donation. I am going to break so many things.
Everybody add to your counter.
Yes,
add to our
everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, I meant to ask last time, is it like one person or everybody gets it for every donation?
Everyone gets it for every donation.
Amazing.
Which is good for all of us.
It's good for all of us, though. Unfortunately, if we get a third one, that means JD can very cheaply turn my new friend into my new enemy, which, you know, still hot. I'm fine.
It's the friends to enemies to friends to enemies.
Enemies to friends to enemies.
To lovers to enemies? To lovers again, pipeline.
Lovers doesn't... I'm just saying, the hatred can be pure. It doesn't have to go... It doesn't have to go. I mean, it's okay if it does, but it doesn't like, you know.
Lover doesn't have to imply romance. Don't get it twisted.
Wait, no. Have I got
anyway?
Okay. All
that's for the Monster Hearts crossover. Like that's
we will sit down and figure out our quadrants and where this falls. My whole
we
Black
have to
Rom
legally
side of things, but you know, we will move on.
Get in the comments.
And so, yes, Vale, Director Bright does not stop you. He has said clearly all that needs to be said at this time, and you do hear the door to the morgue open and close behind you. Back in the gymnasium, the three of you were getting the attention of the trio that Petra had identified. And as you beckon them over, they start walking, and it's only as they notice that all three of them are heading in your direction that you notice some like pausing. Like they kind of notice, wait, you're heading in that direction too. Okay, and their steps falter the slightest bit, but they keep walking, and a moment later, a young man, a young woman, and someone of indeterminate gender are standing in front of you.
Do you understand why we've pulled you here?
They all kind of look at each other, and you hear just kind of like a chorus of like, no, not really. Who are you? What's up?
She sort of looks at the other two. Oh, this will be fun.
That's a word for it.
Shall we?
Excuse me.
And just sort of turns on her heels, starts, floating off.
As we're walking, Antigone just kind of is twirling her hair and goes, "So just a teensy weensy little question. How attached are you to Nell?"
They stop in their tracks.
Keep walking.
One of them, the girl you had seen manipulating Bone, she starts walking, and if anything is like walking faster to make sure she's keeping up with Petra. The Neuromancer, he just kind of stands there staring at you, Antigone, and the one who had been manipulating blood, they just kind of look back and forth between where the osteomancer disappeared and the neuromancer is standing, look at Antigone, and decide that they would rather keep walking and not potentially be left alone with her.
Oh, come on, darling. We don't want to draw attention. Like I said, keep walking.
What is this about?
You'll see very, very
If you're not
soon.
in trouble, just hurry up, please.
Yes.
Not in trouble yet, if you keep walking.
Where are you taking us?
To see Nell. You were requested specifically.
And he still hesitates for like half a second, but then continues walking with the rest of the group. None of them seem particularly chatty at that point. Like before, they were kind of asking questions, trying to introduce themselves, trying to find out who you were, but now they're just walking with a somber attitude.
My name's Antigone, by the way. You might know my brother Eddie.
Oh shit, Eddie's your brother?
Mm-hmm.
He's interesting.
Oh, he's a delight.
Sweet boy.
He's very good at what he does.
Yes, yes. He excels. He is not a jack of all trades.
He is not, but he can do some unique things.
So can I. I imagine so can you, and I think that's why we're here grabbing you.
I mean, obviously it takes a certain amount to get into Novum.
Yes, but it takes a certain amount more to do what we need.
Listen, are you just going to like, I mean, who even are you?
Well, we're some unfortunate necromancers who were pulled out of our peaceful day to come clean up someone else's mess. And we would like your assistance.
It shouldn't be a surprise. I understand you all prepared for this.
I sure hope they have. It'd be quite a shock if they haven't. For them.
Wait. This wasn't a part of it.
Plans have changed slightly. The bigger picture is largely the same. Are you ready?
I mean, I don't have any of. And you realize, like, he looks at Antigone, and you don't know what Eddie has told him, but despite his somewhat flippant attitude, he clearly has respect for you. Or at least what you could do to him. And so he starts to make an excuse like, I don't have the stuff I need here, and then looks at you and stops mid-sentence and just asks, where are we going?
Correct response.
And Vale, I think that is when you
feel
run
like that's
into the
where
group.
Vale like skids down the hallway, like slides. Oh, sick! You got them to the garage. We have 10 minutes. Let's go. I got us a ride.
So
Oh,
that's
and
where
you-
you were hiding.
And you have Nell?
You're never gonna guess who does.
Okay, let's go. You
Is
said
she
10 minutes?
coming with us?
Oh, she's coming with us. The director's gonna
Right.
meet us in the car.
Oh,
joy.
Wonderful.
Your girl's
And
good.
the osteomancer's just like, what?
Let's
Wait,
go.
what?
Questions in the car, as you heard. 10
Yeah,
minutes.
we're going. Yeah, we got 10
I have
minutes.
questions
We got
too.
10 minutes.
What the fuck's
They're
going on?
briefed, right? They know we're doing a resurrection and that we're gonna summon some beasts and we're gonna like completely
Darling,
We
voice.
planned for it
Oh.
in advance, so yes, they would know.
Okay,
they're
cool.
doing.
Cool. All right, you're coming. Get in the fucking car.
Are we being kidnapped?
No.
If you don't
Only
know
if you
willingly.
resist.
No. High five, Spectra.
Do you have everyone you need for the ritual?
I mean, we have the people that Nell talked to.
Okay, great, then let's go. If you have everything you need, let's go.
We have everything we need.
The faster we move, the faster we can get clarification on what this situation is.
What are your names? I feel like if a resurrection beast is about to blow us all up, it's probably best to like know each other a little bit. We can do this as we're
Walk and
walking.
talk.
Sorry.
And they do. They introduce themselves somewhat grudgingly in some cases as you are walking down the hall. The osteomancer introduces herself as Raven. The Neuromancer introduces himself as Quentin, and our resident blood manipulator introduces themselves as Sean. They look very disconcerted for plans to have changed this dramatically. And Raven definitely seems a little uncomfortable with the idea of Director Bright being involved in this.
Oh, titties. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I suppose they would know each other, wouldn't they? Mm.
I mean,
Plans change.
this plan wasn't meant to involve the director.
Nah.
So I understand.
Yes, Vel, how did that come about?
They weren't going to let us do it.
What?
They
Council
said no?
Council said
Why
no.
did they say no?
Of course they said no. They're
Remember what I said?
cowards. They're bureaucrats.
Remember what I said about money?
Mm.
If everyone's dead, no one can spend money. Why would they say no?
Even necromancers make more babies. Humans are the easiest fucking thing to make. I'm a fucking clone baby, man. We can pop out more kids faster, and you don't even need people to make them anymore. Fuck it, we got plenty. Grow us in vats, man. Why the fuck not? We're cheap. We're disposable.
And as long as they die rich, they don't care.
How long does it really take for one of them to die anyway?
Did they stay
Potentially
that
a
way?
lot faster with what we're going to do.
Yup,
We should
you
only
fucking bet. So the director found my argument appealing, and me personally, I think appealing. I am a very people like me.
I have got to hear this.
I am sorry that you won't get to fight him.
That
At least
might still
potentially
happen.
not to the death.
Yeah, Mel, I think there's other, the world contains I many options
Many
for
mysteries, it seems.
viable futures in which the satisfactory resolutions occur between myself and Director Bright.
That was incredibly astute of you.
I'm glad it made sense to somebody.
Me too.
So what you're saying is you're going to wrestle one way or another.
Yeah,
Fun.
sure. I think. Probably
Let's survive
not.
the end of the world
No.
first.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Raven just says, I don't think I should be here for this conversation.
Oh, come on. Like you never thought about it. But nobody here is hot for teacher. Is that not like? All right, fine. I'm the pervert. Whatever.
I mean, he's not your teacher. Not yet.
See? Antigone knows what's up.
Much less gauche.
I think Vesper, just between this conversation and the whole like, nah, we're not going to let a war stop, just because. So we, for all that, she's just starting to break out into a sweat, just because she is very like stressed and there's conflicting emotions going on.
I think Petra sort of like, as this very uncomfortable sort of conversation is having, Raven seems very uncomfortable with this, right? The osteomancer. It just sort of sidle up to Raven, just sort of like lean in, very creepy, very quiet, right? Just sort of lean into her ear. Would you feel better if we killed him?
No. I mean,
Noted.
he's my mentor.
So you should be proud of what you're about to do. Yes? He's here too.
Is he mad at us?
I don't think he knows you're involved yet. He's gonna find out about this when we show. I don't even know if he knows how big a car to get. This is gonna be funny. Some of us might be hanging on the outside.
I'm assuming that someone's going to be you, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be me. I'm gonna be
figured.
surfing on the top. It's gonna be great.
I'm assuming you might do that anyway.
Yeah.
Just for fun, for morale.
I'd buy tickets to that show.
You may not have
I guess
to.
I don't have to, though. I'm getting it for free, right?
Hey, I don't know that I like giving it out for free, but you know what? A, it's fine. I'll say A anyway. It seems like the right thing to say A to. A.
A indeed.
And so you make your way through the halls of Novum to the garage, which is located below. And you open the door and pretty much immediately see Director Bright maybe had an inkling of how many people were going to be there
Hey.
because he has commandeered a Humvee not unlike the one you arrived in. Tinted windows, whole 9 yards. And he is leaning out the driver's side window. He does sort of pause when he sees how many of you walk out, and then just very much has that expression of, this might as well happen, and gestures for all of you to get into the car.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
We brought friends.
I didn't know you had made friends. I didn't realize 4 of my students would be joining us one way or another.
Are you driving us, Director?
Unfortunately. Yeah, get inside. We're gonna go. We probably have some time. Don't know how much, but we're going to do a true resurrection, I guess.
Well, I guess
No
it's a good
cheers?
thing.
So just slow heavy metal music playing. It's like, hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Guess it's a good thing Novum is outside of the city. Easier to find emptier places to do this in.
It is. I have so many concerns, but we don't have time for any of that, apparently, because we are all possibly war criminals. Sorry about that, students.
They were ready to do that anyway. These are the folks that were caught we saw in the vision doing the thing. Oh, he's gonna check and make sure that actually is Nell's body in the back.
It is Nell's body in the back.
Sick. I'm gonna give him his finger back.
And
What?
so you all watch as Director Bright, who you realize that his left pinky had been covered over by a kappa bone. You see that slide away, and he reattaches the pinky that Vale just handed him.
Vel, when it comes to partnerships, that's the wrong finger. You're wanting the third finger.
That would fuck up someone's ability to use a sword.
You're right. My apologies. But I feel like the pinky should also be pretty important to the grip, is it not?
It is, but less so. Doesn't matter.
Fascinating.
I was pretty sure I was gonna give it back to him, and if I didn't,
Better for him not to be able to use a sword.
right?
To make sure my little brother's not chopping off pieces of himself as tokens of affection when I get back from this.
Wait, what?
Are you saying you wouldn't be chopping up pieces of yourself for me?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's still a child. And he should really wait for adulthood before he's giving his fingers away to people.
I
Very
want to make
fair.
it very clear this was an overt threat. Like, this was not like this wasn't meant to be like creepy. I was going to use it to murder him if he betrayed me. Like, we're not.
What's
This
wrong?
isn't.
What's more romantic than that?
Yeah.
I'm still in the car, by the way.
Yes, of
I
course.
misread the situation, and I feel like I'm still misreading it with that explanation. Let's go.
I'm so confused. All right, where are we going?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
you all are just I'm just gonna say, like, you all are giving me just so much to try and process all at once. I don't know what any of that conversation just meant, and I don't
Let's
really
forget it
want to.
happened. I'm fine
Try
with
for
I would
that.
like
process
that. I would like
I'm
that
really
so
fine
much.
with that.
Yep. We're all good with that.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to erase that.
Mhm.
We are going a reasonable distance away from Novum and away from the city, so that when shit inevitably starts going down, we cause the least collateral damage possible. I really hope. I don't know that I'm making the right decision. I don't think there is a right decision here. But we're doing this, and yeah, you all seem very cavalier about the fact that we are about to create a bunch of resurrected monsters in the near
Cavalier?
future.
I've put all my stress in a box and I'm not going to open it for as long as I can. Okay?
The fact that you've reached your age without being able to compartmentalize is your problem, not ours.
Vesper.
I'm like
You
3
really
years
sweet.
older than all of you. Just a reminder. I'm not an old man. Just a reminder.
Vale?
Noted. You're fucking terrifying, Vesper.
Because I put all my stress in a box?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? How is that terrifying?
I really want to see when that lid comes off of that. I really want to see. I really want to be there. I want to be like maybe behind like 6 feet of plate, but I want to see it anyway.
Well, who
Are we
knows? You may get your chance real soon.
sick? So everything's coming up, Veil Binder. Let's go.
Tell me, director, will there be spirits where we're going?
Probably. I don't have that power, so I can't really say, but where we are going is not like Novum, where we try and keep some barriers in place. We're going to an old fucking factory. So yeah, I'd be shocked if there weren't some spirits around there.
Excellent. Sits down, buckles up, like
Is every buckle your seatbelt safety
everybody
first?
buckled up.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
If we die on the way there, I'm gonna be
That's
so
what you're
pissed.
So mad, yeah.
We have to perform a true resurrection on the side of the road. Like, I'm gonna be so angry.
He's so be very embarrassed.
This is not
It's gonna ruin my whole day.
And so as you're driving along, Director Bright does glance in the rearview mirror at all 8 of you, and granted, Nell can't exactly chime in, but he does ask, are you all sure that you want to be a part of this?
I'm sure I want the war to end.
I've got nothing better to do with my day.
I would be doing this with or without you, so.
This or the incinerator.
And his eyes linger on you for a moment, Vale, and then shift over to the trio, who have like tried to kind of cluster amongst themselves as much as is possible, and have been silent through all of that, and just looks at them and asks, 3 of you as well? And they all look at each other, glance in the back at where Nell is, and nod. And Sean says, we were going to do it anyway, so we might as well be helpful. We believed in Nell enough to be willing to go along with her plan, so we're going to see it through to the end, right? And Director Bright takes that in. Nobody is saying anything to the contrary, and so he keeps on driving.
How long have you all been planning this?
And Raven says, I mean, not that long. Nell asked us to help her, and she said it needed to happen. She didn't tell us how she knew she was going to die. She just told us that she was going to die and we would need to bring her back.
And she fully prepared you for what bringing her back means.
And Quentin, the Neuromancer, nods and says, yeah, she told us that a new kind of war would be coming.
Can you fight?
I don't know. The three of you were watching me. Can I fight?
Honestly, I wasn't paying attention, and if you're any good as a neuromancer, we wouldn't be able to tell anyway. Petra,
Yes.
can they fight?
Oh, they can fight.
Splendid.
The real question is, can they bring her back?
Well, the vision seemed to indicate they would.
They thought they were good enough. They thought they were good enough without us. With us, they're going to be fine.
I've been meaning to try these theories.
What do you know about the monster that's going to come out? What to expect from it?
Raven says, we know that there's more than one. The first one is she said it was made of muscle and blood.
Okay.
I don't think she could really see the second one. But it was the third one that was truly terrible.
Is there a sense of how soon they'll appear? Is there a delay? Is it all at once? Is it...
We don't know. I believe they could appear anywhere, but I would guess nearby. But it's the problem with this is that it's all theory.
Yeah.
There's nothing that there's no manual that says you do this, this, and this, and then these things happen.
Well, I suppose depending on how today goes, maybe that's something that can be worked on.
So we're all 8 of us are going to do this, and she looks towards Director Bright, who says, "Yeah, I'm not just driving the getaway vehicle. I'm part of this, apparently, so, what's another crime to add to the list, right?"
If you're already getting in trouble, might as well make history.
Yeah, well, the only thing that I care about is being on the right side of history. No, Della, you are muted.
Sorry. Then we better fucking win, is what Vale says. But muscle and blood, we can take that, right? You're a sort of poking them with. It's like, you're a blood guy, right?
Yeah, I'm a blood guy. Yeah.
Sick.
I can do blood.
You could pretend to enjoy your major a bit more.
I think. Is this the male or
This is the
the
non-binary
the
individual.
non-binary individual? I think they're actually just don't like me poking them, which is fair if we're being honest.
You could stop.
Oh yeah. With persuasive skills like these, you can see why the director chose to join us.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of the director, you notice at this point that the car is starting to slow down, and Director Bright is pulling into what looks like not just an abandoned factory, but a factory where at some point there was some sort of fire. The earth around it is scorched, it is hollowed out, it is a shell, and everything around it is pretty much desolate. There aren't other buildings anywhere in the immediate vicinity, and the few you can see a little further out are far enough away that you're pretty sure they won't be affected, but also look like they're on their last legs and about to be condemned if they haven't been already.
JD, you shouldn't have.
I love to give my players gifts. And at that point, Director Bright, as he stops the car, realizes that he is technically the director and the leader of all of this, and that he has no idea what the fuck is about to happen next. And so he just now turns over to look over his shoulder at all of you, mostly at Vale, and says, "All right, I've got us a remote location, like you said. I would love to act like I know exactly what I meant to do here, but I don't. So, what are our next steps?" No, Della, you are muted again.
I'm trying to do too many things at the same time. I keep muting myself. Petra, this is your show.
I think Petra just already, the car has stopped. Petra has hopped out of the car, just sort of like, getting eyes on the place. I suppose we find a place to set up, yes?
You three start setup. Tell us what to do. We don't know I don't know what the fuck. You tell me what to do. And Vale will start hauling the body out and basically just following whatever the necromancers tell her to do.
And for the most part, it is about positioning and placement. They are handing you a variety of objects and items, things like candles, what looks like a ritualistic dagger, jars of blood, pieces of bone. In one, it looks like chunks of muscle. Just a variety of items, and as they start to get into the space, the trio stop sounding quite as tentative and are a lot more assertively saying, put this right here, make sure it's right here, like make sure this lines up with this, and make sure the space is this big, and really talking you through each and every one of the steps. But I want to know, Petra, what you are doing as the setup is happening.
I think as they're sort of getting all of like the little like trinkets and materials out, Petra's doing that thing that she does, which is wandering about very creepily, just sort of walking and tilting her head like she's listening to something, like she's having half a conversation, and trying to get a lay of the spirits, if there are any, which I assume there are many, given the state of this place. And I think I would like to use my little special gift from Keegan, if I may. I would like to ask some questions.
I think I would absolutely love that for you. Yes, please.
Excellent. So let's see. I've got 2 spirit counters from donations, and that is 2d6 plus spirit. And then I get some questions, and there might be some consequences to the questions depending on how poorly I roll. We'll see. Okay, all right. That's a 10.
A 10 is not bad.
10's not terrible,
A 10 is not bad at all.
10 is not bad. So I believe on the chart that is 2 questions.
That is correct, and not necessarily any consequences.
Not any specified by this. But yeah, number of questions about what they've seen or experienced, and they must be answered truthfully, which is delightful. First question for whoever's listening, she's sort of wandering around, sort of trying to ask about where on this property, ideally inside, are there any thin spots in the veil? Are there any places where, if we set up in a specific place, that this might be made easier to pull something through?
Interesting. And so you are opening yourself up to the spirits of this place, and the fire was clearly a significant tragedy with loss of life. And there is a moment where the sheer number of spirits becomes overwhelming because they are all clamoring to be heard. They have not had anyone who can speak to them in the way that you can. And they want you to do a variety of things for them. You're just getting kind of bombarded with these requests. And it takes a bit to sift through that. You have to either placate, or kind of center in on the ones that look like they could at least focus on you, and we'll also say would not have any tricks up their sleeve. And so you find a spirit who catches your attention because they are a bit more isolated. They are further away from the others, and they are not making any demands of you. And when you approach, he just looks up and asks, What are you going to do?
Well, if all goes according to plan, we're going to end the war. And if all goes according to my plan, I'm going to break it. Going to end the veil. You won't be stuck anymore.
That would go a long way.
I should hope so. It's been a long time coming. No?
I'm pretty sure that you, of all people, know that time passes differently here. It has been both an eternity and the snap of one's fingers all at the same time.
Wouldn't it be nice to have that time make sense again?
I can't imagine anything I would want. I can think of a few things I would want more, but
In time.
I don't think you can find a new body for me.
The night is young. All we can do is try. Though we do have to stop the end of the world first. I'm sure there will be a lot of bodies after that, in need of pilots, as it were.
You said you wanted to know where the veil was the thinnest.
Yes.
I don't sense things the way you do, but I'm pretty sure it would be right over there. And he points to a spot that is particularly blackened, and you can tell, Petra, that this was where the fire started. And whether it was the loss of life that followed or something in what caused the fire itself, it has created a crack in the veil. And what is a crack except for something that needs a bit more pressure to become a hole?
Oh, delightful. Excellent. That will work wonderfully, I think. I do have one more question for you, if you don't mind.
All I have is time.
Would you be able to help us find someone on your side?
Possibly there's a lot of us. It's like, and he looks up at the ceiling, which is gone in places, and says, it's like looking into the night sky. There's just all of these stars. So I can try to help you, but what's the phrase? It would be like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yes, but I might be able to offer you a magnet. And we'll sort of start walking towards wherever the body is. And sort of with that vague, unspoken intent of like, follow me. And, take the cloth or the body bag or whatever we've been keeping Nell in, just sort of pull it back from her face. And just sort of stare up at what you guys see is just her staring up at nobody, at nothing, just at the ceiling. This help.
And he looks down at Nell and then kneels by her side and rests his hand like right there on her chest, and then looks up at you, Petra. I think if you could help me see even a fraction of what you can see, maybe I could follow the thread and see where it goes.
What do you need? We'll just sort of like, as if to like offer to help him up. We'll offer a hand. Whatever you need.
And he takes your hand. I am debating if I want you to make a roll. And if so, what I want you to roll with.
I don't trust him. I don't trust you.
I think I'm going to have you roll with bone.
With bone. Okay.
Uh-oh. Is that your bad one?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. And this is this how many d6, or is this 2d6 plus stat?
This is however many you have in the stat, and then take the highest roll.
Okay, yes. Cool.
Oh no. No, Petra.
Everything's going great. Everything's coming up, Petra. That's a 3. It's a 2 and a 3. So
incredible. So you take this ghost's hand and you have spent a lot of time communicating with spirits, but I don't think you've ever once offered to share your power with them. And in that moment, as you do that, there's the part of you that recognizes he asked for, just this specific piece. I just want to be able to see the thread that connects Nell's body to her spirit. Unfortunately, you open him up to everything. And
that sounds on brand, actually.
Honestly, I thought it was a very fair role for Petra to make.
No, it feels on brand, yeah.
And so with that, you see his eyes go wide and a look of terror. And he just starts saying, no, 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 no. And yanks his hand away from yours and disappears.
Well, boo.
And you all feel the temperature inside the factory drop by about 10 degrees.
Petra, what was that?
I think I scared him. We'll just sort of like, and turn around and walk over to that spot where it was very, very blackened. We should set up over here. It'll be easier.
And the trio, who have been like in the midst of setting up somewhere very different, like grudgingly start to move the entire setup over in that direction. I am curious, Antigone and Vesper, what the two of you have been doing as Petra has been communicating with the spirit.
Letting literally everybody else do the hard labor.
Yeah, my muscle is not my strong stat, so I think Vesper, just to have something to do, would have walked a perimeter around the building just to check and make sure that things were fine. I guess it's a burned out building, so she knows it's like this is kind of probably pointless, but it's still good to do, and just kind of the training kicking in and just kind of trying to take stock of like, okay, what's very unstable that should not be walked or leaned on, and just kind of noting those, what might make a good quick exit in a small space, what just basically kind of mapping escape routes in the perimeter and the weak points of the building.
And what about you, Vale?
I think Vale has been a little. Sorry, let me do a quick look and see at my stats there. Sick. I think Vale has been really focused on just like being helpful, like just doing what the necros tell her to do, and like I think she sees Petra talking to a spirit, and like there's a moment where she like wants to go to her, but then someone's like, "Oh, hey, can you move this?" or "Hey, can you do this thing?" and she's sort of like pulled away to do the work. And so when the temperature goes cold like that, she's just like, "Oh, fuck my everything." And looks over at Petra. This doesn't feel like good news.
Could have gone better. Could have gone much worse.
We kind of need better right now, hon.
He answered one of my questions. We found a better spot. An easier spot. He may be back.
All right, better spot. Show us.
Just
What else?
wordlessly turning on her heels like.
What else did he say? Like kind of like hulking over top of you very much. Like I feel like it's very much like little then like it's very much Uncle Fester and Wednesday. Like just like
Very much the
absolutely
vibes.
uh much taller. What else did he say?
Just sort of like squint, head tilt, like, you're upset. He wanted my help. He wanted help to see. I tried to give it to him. He couldn't handle it. He may be back. He may just be scared. I don't think I did away with him. He was trying to help us find Nell. He may still help us find Nell, but I reckon if we call for her, she will come anyways. was simply trying to make it easier.
Okay.
Are you upset with me, Vale?
No. No, I'm not.
Hmm. Then we should finish the ritual.
You betcha.
JD, quick question. How long do necromancers live for with their lifespan, given all the fuckery they can do?
It's a really good question.
Is it like double the average human lifespan? Because they still age.
They definitely do still age, but in some ways, it's hard because a lot of lives are lost. And so getting a clear picture is difficult. There have been rumors of necromancers that have lived for centuries.
Cool.
Nothing that's been proven, but some of the council members have been a part of the council for a very, very long time.
Gotcha. Cool. Just curious. Thank you.
I feel like now, as the storyteller, I'm like wanting to use the meme. What does that mean, Steph? What does that mean?
Nothing. I was just curious. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's my line.
I saw you smirking. I don't trust.
And so you have set up for the ritual. You have the different elements positioned. There are a mixture of things happening, some of which seem like they make sense in terms of having items involved that are connected to Nell and were important to her. Others that you're not quite sure how this could be relevant, but it probably makes sense in terms of things like different symbols or sigils that the trio are saying need to be marked in certain places on Nell's body, and then some that you're like, I have no idea what relevance that could have, like manipulating a bone that had been brought to Nell's palm. That doesn't necessarily seem like it makes any sense, but they are seeming very certain, like these are the steps to do. I will say, as things move towards the timing of the ritual, Petra, it can't help but strike you. How were they ever planning to pull this off without a seer?
See, I don't think they were. And I think realizing that, like watching them sort of set this up, Petra's been trying to keep quiet, basically, because she wants to be involved very much. But she knows that, Vesper is probably right. If they change this too much, they might actually change the outcome. But then it just keeps looking like, no, they need, I was supposed to be here, I think. And so she'll sort of sit down next to one of them, sort of looking over shoulders, and honestly probably has like a little pocket notebook or something of like notes that she has taken herself and kept very hidden, but always has ready because reasons. And just sort of watching them work for a second, very creepy over their shoulder. What do you need me to do?
And from Sean and Quentin, kind of the like automatic answer you get, there is a bit of a shudder with you just hovering right there. Is very much like that automatic, like, oh, put this here, like, do this. It's Raven who looks at you and says, we need you to find her, of course.
That's all.
That's all. None of us can do that.
We'll see what I can do. And I think it's then that she realizes shit. I think you would see a little bit of uncertainty on Petra's face for perhaps the first time ever, because she tried that and it might not have worked. But she is going to keep trying. Just can't really ask the spirits as much as she had. But she will try. She will keep an eye out in the crowd, and try to read those threads as much as she can. But there is, for the first time in a long time, if ever, there is visible uncertainty. Vale's gonna be so mad at me.
And so it is at around that point that the trio step back, survey their work, and Director Bright steps up, looks at them. They nod. And he looks at the 7 of you plus Nell's body that are assembled, and takes a moment. I know I already asked if you all were sure that you wanted to do this, but this is like the real last minute of, you got any reservations, you can go. I never saw you. You weren't a part of this. I want to put that out there one more time. I feel like I need to. 3 of you are my students. 4 of you were there on official business. Whatever is going to happen next, it's going to be monumental. And if you don't want to be a part of that, you don't have to be.
I think realistically, we're going to be part of it one way or another.
Thank you, Director, but I think the 4 of us made our choice in that office. Well, 5 of us.
There's still work to be done. Someone needs to do it.
As you need my buy-in too? Yeah, fuck, I'm in.
I mean, I figured you were Vale. I just thought, important to check in.
Are you, Director? This is also your last chance.
I made my choice when the council made their choice. I knew what I was coming back to Novum to do. So let's do it.
I think before the ritual begins, Vesper just kind of reaches over to Antigone and squeezes her hand before she presses a kiss to the knuckles and just says, "Here's to 1,000 years of you."
1,000 years of us.
See you on the other side.
See you on both sides.
Promise.
Yeah, just
had
fucking
fun.
grip it and rip
To
it,
the
baby.
body.
Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack
Hold
one
Nell's
for the
hand.
big boy.
Oh, donation.
Thank you,
Yes,
Della.
It's from me. It's fine.
Mark those counters.
Mark those counters,
Mark
everybody.
those counters.
I think Petra's going to kneel down and take Nell's hand. And before she casts her psychometry, just a last ditch effort, you know, everything's fine. Just sort of says, where we're going, there won't be sides. I'm going to try to read this body's history and trace it back and find that damn ghost, JD.
Absolutely fucking incredible. I love that for you.
I'm probably going to get a lot more than just where the ghost is from this. It's going to be a lot, because this is touching an object. A body is an object, right? There's not a soul in it yet. And tell its full history.
I love that so much.
Oh.
I'm going to say this is still going to be a bone roll.
Can
JD.
Della?
can I do something?
Yes.
Can I do something?
Please do.
Yes.
Please do.
So, she scared the shit out of that ghost. Right? Are you trying to find Nell or are you trying to find this ghost?
I'm trying to find Nell at this point.
At this point? Okay.
I mean, if you want to find the ghost, we could do that.
No, Nell's dead.
Mhm.
Nell has an obligation. Would you say that Nell has an obligation to death?
I like the way
Yeah,
that
just
you are
fucking
thinking.
grip it and rip
Oh my
it,
God.
baby. Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude.
Oh, thank you,
Crack one
Sword
for the
and Key.
big boy.
Incredible. Thank you, Sword and Key.
Tally another counter, babies.
Let's do it.
Racking them up.
I would say that Nell has an obligation.
I'm wondering if I can, in this case, use my Sword of Souls to bolster my Seer's
Fuck yes.
shenanigans.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. All right. So I'm going to be using my move, my Sword of Souls, Veil's Sword of Souls. So that's 2d6 plus soul counters, and I have 4 now, I believe.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me pull up my dicey roller, because I haven't rolled any dice yet. I can't believe you let me turn that man without rolling a single die.
Also,
Uh,
Keegan reminded us that you can
Mhm.
burn a well to get 2 extra dice.
Hey, do those stack, Keegan? Hey, real quick.
That's
How many-
important.
How many wells does it take to bring someone back from the dead? Asking for a friend.
Okay. To get 2 extra dice, I could use 4d6 plus 4. That might be. I'm gonna do it. I'll burn a well for this.
Please do.
We need this bitch.
We haven't burned any yet. JD gave us the full 9.
I did give
oh,
you the full 9.
I've burned 2.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
you
right.
have?
Yep.
Oh,
I've
Yeah,
shit.
you've
burned
done
2.
some stuff.
I've been doing shenanigans.
Oh.
On the dice, that's 18. So 2d6 plus soul counter. So 12 or higher is choose up to 3. Because I'm just adding them up.
That
It
is
looks
correct.
So yeah, I got 18 with that. If you want to just use the top 2, that still puts me at a 12. Like if I use like the 2 lower ones, I'm still at a 12.
You know what? I'm gonna be extra nice, Stella. You can take that well back. That is yours. And
Okay,
we'll
sweet.
take the 2 highest. And
Okay. Well, the 2 highest actually that was the 2 lowest. The 2 highest still puts me at 14.
incredible.
Yeah.
And that means you get to choose all 3.
Whew. Alrighty. So I am in this moment. I think what it ends up looking like is to everyone else is Petra kneels down next to Nell to sort of start this ritual, and Vale goes and stands behind her and just like pulls out her great sword and like plants it in the ground right behind her, and like focuses just for a moment on severing that tie. But nobody really notices, especially not Petra. But it's gonna be a lot easier now to cast this spell.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
That is so beautiful. As Steph said, that's art.
I'm here for you.
And I'm going to say with that, Petra, I'm going to be kind. Take 4 dice, roll them. You do not need to burn a well.
Hell yeah.
JD.
Power of
you should-
friendship, baby.
Yeah, okay, but like, are you mad at me though? Like, okay, but like, I know we're about to like save the world or whatever, but like, are you mad at me? Okay, you said and take the highest. No whammies. It's a 5.
Okay.
And like several ones.
That, you know what? We're ignoring those
This
ones
ghost
don't
in
exist.
particular, goddamn.
This ghost in particular said, "I'm out, y'all.
Like, y'all, I don't want to be
Girl, this
here.
was your plan. Get back here.
Get back in the meat,
No, no, no.
please."
Get back in the meat.
That's etymologically, that's what reincarnation means. That's where that word comes from. It is get back in the meat. Reincarn. It's.
I believe you.
As your
just don't know
resident
that I
linguist,
like
I
it.
have to make these things evident.
Corn.
That's Ben. Meat facts.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Absolutely fucking incredible.
It's
always.
fine, really.
Yeah. Very normal.
Okay. I just need 2 seconds to process all of those words myself. Okay. So Petra, you kneel down. You are reaching out to find Nell. Vale, you have found a way that perhaps you didn't even know you had within you to help your friend by severing the tie that is holding Nell specifically to death. I need to know, kind of in this moment, I know Vesper, you had taken Antigone's hand. There had been some promises exchanged. What are the two of you doing as the ritual begins?
I think Vesper is still holding Antigone's hand until she, needs to get her weapons out or needs to like prime herself for the fight. But she has her nails are still like gone into like claws from when Petra had scared her earlier. I think she's been too stressed to drop that. So I think she is kind of shifting into a stance just to get ready to fight whatever is about to appear in here. And you can kind of see that her hair is starting to move on its own. It's very long and she has bones and metal shards woven at the bottom of it because prehensile hair, might as well make that sharp. So she is just ready. She's still got her hammer on her, but she hasn't, because she's not good at remembering to use the weapon that isn't necromantic magic. She hasn't pulled that out yet, but it's on her. But she is just very much shifted into like a fighting stance.
And what about you, Antigone?
I think Antigone has one hand holding Vespers and the other hand is playing with where her little dagger is sheathed at her side, ready to draw it out, but also more ready to use her magic, focused entirely on where they're expecting resurrection to happen and prepping herself mentally.
And Petra, just something I want to know. When you reached out to begin the ritual, was your focus solely on finding Nell and bringing her back? Or was your attention divided between that and the crack in the veil that you had noted earlier?
I think so. Yes, and I think primary concern, of course, is find Nell, bring her back. But I think in order to make that easier, perhaps it would help if that crack in the veil were wider. So I think there might be part of that. And I think really the intent, I think, is find Nell and then bring her back with such force that it irreparably widens that hole. Because this is something that we're not supposed to be doing. This is something that is not typically done. And I think sort of trying to exploit the bringing of Nell back and using that to bust up the veil. So goal 1 is bring Nell back. But if I can do it in a way that, is a little bit messy, oh no, I messed up. Whoops. I made a little whoopsie. Who can even blame me for that, truly?
And so, Petra, your attention is divided in that way. You technically have two goals happening at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm first wondering, what is the furthest Petra has ever reached into the veil?
I think I think it's not as far as you might expect. Because Petra does have this concern, I will say, that if she gets too stuck in the middle, if she gets too ingrained in the veil itself, that neither side will take her back. So I think if she can't commit to being in the actual veil, she's very much watching through the window and occasionally opening that window a bit and, sticking a hand out, peeking out. But she's never gone fully there because that doesn't feel like it would be committing to the bit, right? If she tries to go there fully and she's not herself deceased. I don't know. It feels disingenuous, and she has concerns about what that would mean for her ability to fully ingratiate herself when the time comes. She's done a lot of study from the outside.
How far is Petra willing to go this time?
Well, this time it's not going to matter, is it? Because if we do it right, the veil won't be a problem anymore. There won't be two sides. So I think if she thinks it'll work, she's all in.
And so you've looked through the window, so to speak. You have caught those glimpses, but it's been like looking at the surface of a body of water. And as you commit to this entirely, Petra, it is like being fully submerged. And it is not unlike what the ghost you were talking to described. You break through the surface and you're swimming or maybe sinking. It's honestly hard to tell. And there are these specks of light all around you, just like stars. And it feels wrong to be here. You were right that this is not something that is meant for the living to experience. It is hard to move through. It is sort of like moving through water, but of something even a deeper consistency than that. And it is a fight to keep moving, but you can see what you were hoping the ghost could. You can see that thread. And you realize not only can you see that thread, but the speck of light that it is attached to is moving towards you. You are not having to fight to reach it. It is coming to meet you part way. And as that ball of light moves closer, you are able to see Nell, and she looks at you with gratitude and reaches out her hand. No, kid, you're muted.
Just kidding. I think Petra sort of had her hand sort of loosely on this thread so as not to lose it. And so the other hand will come out and, grab Fernell's. And then just sort of, as much as she's able, it's difficult to move in here, just sort of follow that thread back. I said we'd do it.
And the two of you are moving through. And you don't know exactly what it is in the ritual, but in this moment, it does click specifically for you, Petra, that whatever the trio did to prepare Nell's body is the reason spirits can't just jump into random bodies at any point. The only way this connection could be forged is with what they did. And that becomes an important realization as you realize that those other specks of light are moving towards you and starting to converge on you and Nell as you are moving back through the surface.
I think we might need to pick up the pace. Seems we've excited the locals.
For the rest of you, it is important to note that as Petra has been sitting there beside Nell, her eyes have gone completely white. And she is rigid and unmoving. And Petra, you are guiding Nell up. You break through the surface and you feel yourself thrown back into your body, which you didn't even realize you'd left.
Oh.
And Nell similarly jerks upright with a start.
Is it now?
And she's pressed a hand to her chest like she's trying to reassure herself of her heartbeat. And she looks at you, and it's with the same look you saw, both before the blade was put in by Vale, but also when you found her. And she just nods. She's gasping for breath. You can tell that she can't quite talk yet.
It will come with time. Good to have you back.
Petra, you are the only one who fully understands what happens next. Because you see that crack in the veil getting larger and larger and larger until it shatters. And spirits just come pouring out.
No.
None of the rest of you see this, but that temperature drop is now more of a 30-degree temperature drop. It is frigid.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Is this supposed to be happening?
Is this part of the plan? Part of the plan? Part of the plan, babe? Gently
Yeah, I think-
nudging Petra with her ankle.
Yeah, I think seeing that
Kick.
that welcome back is directed over Petra's or over Nell's shoulder. I don't know that anyone else would notice that. Nell might.
Oh no.
No, this is good. This is wonderful. It worked.
So where's the thing?
On its way, I imagine.
Why is it so fucking cold?
I may have allowed in a bit of a draft when we opened this window.
How many? How many, Petra?
Oh no.
How many?
Vale, I don't know that any of us can quite count that high. I don't think it will matter.
Please tell me you didn't leave the window open behind you. On top of
Do you-
everything else?
I think Petra will stand up and will sort of like, not like, I say round on Vesper, that feels aggressive. Just sort of turn that little like head cock. How easy do you think it is to shut that window, Vesper?
Not my specialty. Would you enlighten me?
This is a road that goes one way. We've opened it up. You didn't think that it would remain intact, pulling an entire person back, did you?
I've climbed out of windows and they didn't break when I did it, Petra!
Yes, but have you created a second lane on a highway and tried to keep cars coming back by shutting a single one? We don't have barricades big enough for what we've done. We don't need them.
So was this a natural side effect of a resurrection, or is this just a little special something you threw in?
It was going to happen.
Can they help us?
Oh, they can help us.
Sick. I'm all for it.
Just really questioning your timing on this.
What better
Nope.
time? We were already in there. We
He
can
came
try
back.
to close it, but they will be awfully upset if we do.
I do not feel like I need a cavalcade of angry ghosts happening to me right now, along with a resurrected beast. So let's focus.
Precisely.
Let's focus up and ruin our day with one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right?
Right, I mean, it's
Really
already
well.
happening.
Focus. This
At least
is
this way, some of them can help us. If we try to send them back, all of them will be upset.
and we wouldn't fucking want that, would we? Nope. Nope,
No.
nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope.
But
Nope.
none of them would
Petra,
help.
Petra actually laughs at that. No, we would not.
Nope, nope, nope. Your girl not
None
gonna
of them-
die getting torn apart by angry ghosts. Mm-mm.
No,
They're not going to help. None of them are going to help the beast, though, right?
no
Right?
more than would have anyway. I imagine when the beast comes through, this will all look like a tiny tear in a sock in comparison to the hole that will make.
She's not wrong. We are planning to do something fucking horrific. Like, just in case.
Yes.
I mean, planning it's already done. We're just waiting for it to happen.
Yes, and better to give these kind souls reason to help us, reason to think that we're on their side,
Mm-hmm,
than to let the beast do it and have them be grateful to it.
I hear you. No, true.
Antigone.
I didn't like that tone.
I didn't either. So
You are listening to this entire conversation. You are looking around at the others, and you see the trio hugging Nell, comforting her. You see Director Bright standing guard. He has 2 giant bone swords, one in each hand, that honestly look like they're as big as he is, and he does not look like he's strong enough to be wielding them. So you're assuming that this is in part his magical ability allowing him to manipulate bone in this way. You're looking over at Vesper and hearing Vesper's concerns. And you're realizing the beast isn't here yet. The beast should be here. And you're thinking back to the things that Nell said. You're thinking back to the vision that you saw when you were able to see through her eyes and through her memories in the way you did. And something stands out to you in that moment because you can't remember if it was something that Nell said when she was talking to all of you, or if this was something that you saw in those fragments and glimpses, but you remember that she told you about that third resurrection beast, the horrible one made of bone with the glowing blue eyes, who had thousands of voices inside of it. And in this moment, you remember that she said its name. She said that it was the Veil Unweaver. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Where's this motherfucker, JD? Where's this monster?
Maybe right in front of us?
Wait.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just a little guy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just a little
Just a
guy.
little guy.
Little guy.
That
little
voice was so deceptive.
Just a
Little
regular
Christ,
little guy.
what?
It's totally
What?
normal. It's totally
Oh,
normal.
Oh, there's
guy.
no Christ here to be the antithesis.
I
Where we're going, we don't need
underestimated-
Christ.
And that's the fucking
underestimated
tagline.
Petra's
That's
role.
the
We're going,
fucking
we don't need
tagline. Where we're going.
That's my campaign slogan.
Yes.
Fuck yes. I might genuinely steal that for season 2.
I was about to say that. I was like, that is applicable to thy kingdom
Fuck
come.
yeah. Quote from Kit.
Yes.
Yes.
You got it, dude.
All
We are
right.
weak.
So we had a time tonight. Obviously, we are going to have a third or fourth session.
On brand.
We will
Long running
make it-
campaign. Get in the comments.
Mhm.
We together we can bully JD into a full season of this.
It's
done it
not that
before.
hard.
It's really not.
Yeah.
And so with that, I'm going to let each of my wonderful cast go around, remind you who they are, who they played, what awesome things they're doing, and we will then figure out another time to do another episode of this because we must. It's going to be amazing. With that, Della, you were up first.
Hi, I am Della Collins. I have been Veilbinder, and I might have to throw hands with all of these people who are about to attack my seer. That's just going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. You can find me here with not this on. Pretty much you will be able to find me here every Thursday, actually, on this very channel. As I am in Redacted and in eventually on Andy's secret thing. Which has he announced that yet? Is he going to announce that?
I mean, I feel like at one point, I can't remember which one of us it was, but one of us was just like, we're going to announce it. So I
I'm
feel like the name's
announcing
been said at
it.
least once.
Yeah, next week is next week is our premiere, so I'm announcing it here.
Redacted is
Redacted's next week.
next week.
Okay, so the
so
week
it is the 9th.
after is
Yeah.
our premiere. Okay, so join me on the 9th for our premiere of Never Ember's Enigma, which is going to be a D&D campaign. We're going to heist stuff. I play a gnome. She's adorable. The end.
Incredible. You got me while I was typing.
Sorry.
And we will also eventually be back for the aforementioned Thy Kingdom Come.
Yes, Thy Kingdom Come will eventually be back, but that's gonna be quite some time. But we're hoping to announce a proper start date for that probably after whatchamacallit, the convention.
Hasmas. Oh,
The
Magfest.
Magfest, probably post Magfest.
That is fair. Yeah, we have a lot going on, both IRL and on screen with LFTA. All right, Kit, you are up next.
Hey guys. I am Kit, your local tabletop performer, producer, writer, podcaster. I wear so many hats, don't worry about it. My head is big enough for all of them. You can find me most places on the internet at Kit Roll or on Twitter while supplies last at Kit Roll Cause. Specifically, coming up, you can find me every other Saturday over on Lost Caravan. We are playing Fatal Ascension, which is our Fabula Ultima campaign, where I play yet another just a little guy, everyone's favorite automaton on the run from multiple countries at this point. It's fine. She's just a little guy. Nothing wrong in her life. No war crimes here. Don't worry about it. Every Friday, Season of Secrets and Shadows is back here on this very channel. It's 2 tables, 1 narrative, all Regency flavored monstery romance. Where on brand, just a little guy, just a little vampire, a little country girl turned vampire, turned court goer. Everything's fine and normal. Nothing bad is happening. We can also blame JD for all of the regular and normal stuff that is happening on this campaign. It's totally fine. So catch us, I believe, this weekend is table 1.
This weekend is table 2.
This weekend is table 2. I don't know what day it is. We'll get there.
We got that off
alternating. We did, yes. Alternating tables. It's going to be delightful. Catch them all because it's a great time every week. And then every other Wednesday, you can catch Beacons of Farlight, which is a new campaign over on High Shelf Collective using the Beacon system, where I play a little elemental shapeshifter, and everything is also fine and regular. If you enjoy fine and regular things, including magical girls, queer narratives, and stories of hope amongst defeat, you can catch Bloom and Blight, our Girl by Moonlight actual play podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. If it's not there, let me know. I will put it there. That's a threat. For episode announcements and clips, you can find us on socials at Bloom and Blight, all spelled out. And for cast and character information, transcripts of all of our episodes, etc., you can go to bloomandblight.com. I believe that's all I'm allowed to talk about. No, I've gotten the okay. We can talk about Recall Week over on Lost Caravan. I believe first full week of November. We're doing a little something special. Where for a week we will be bringing back beloved characters from one-shots and campaigns past and throwing them all together, isekai style, into just amalgamation games of absolute nonsense and chicanery, and it will be delightful and awesome. So you can catch me in one of those games. I'll talk about it another time, probably. I think that's all I've got. I think that's all I'm legally allowed to talk about.
When do you sleep, Kit?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I don't. I don't need it. I'm simply built different.
You are the first of us to actually be honest about that.
Yeah, why would I lie to you, JD? It's fine. If it was an issue, I wouldn't do it.
No, Della, you are muted.
It's fine. Everything's normal and regular.
And with that, Chrissy, you are up next.
Hi, yes, I'm Chrissy and Keller. I have been Antigone tonight. I am your local dice roller, dirty joke maker. as of right now, I don't think I have a whole lot going on up until December, whenever I'll be back with 12-Sided Stories doing some cyberpunk. I don't know about the definitive dates because I think we're switching that to podcast, so I think we're just recording. So I don't know when they're going to be releasing. And then some Thirsty Sword Barbies with Jess that we've had to reschedule a couple times. So we'll be doing that in December. You know, only 6 months after the Barb movie comes out. It's fine. It's fine. It's exciting. I'm really stoked to get into that, playing with some good people. And yeah, besides that, I don't know what I can and can't talk about. So that's me. You can see what I'm up to on Twitter and or Instagram and or Threads and or Blue Sky.
Incredible. And we are always so happy to have you guesting here, Chrissy.
So happy to be here.
And last but not least, Steph.
Hi, I'm Steph. I've been Vesper, getting back together with her ex, making choices. Gonna see how we do with those choices next time. In the meantime, you can catch me in Redacted every other Thursday. You can also catch me every other Friday in a season of Secrets and Shadows. Did I hit Darkest Self in the first episode because Rhiannon's life is just going that way? I did! We're gonna see how long this lasts. It's fine, so fine. You can also catch me in, are we saying this weekend, the Extra Life yet?
Oh yeah, we should mention that.
Yes.
Yes.
This Saturday and Sunday over at Live from the Apocalypse, we are doing Extra Life, several games for charity. I will be in one on Sunday, a Monster of the Week called Headbox Hurry Home, and it's going to be a fun one. They're all going to be fun, so you should check that out. In the meantime, you can also find me in the Discord under the handle Lavenza and on Blue Sky under S. Brown Writes.
Incredible. And last but not least, I am JD. I do way too many things. I'm not going to list all of them. What I'm mostly going to focus on are things happening in the next week. Thankfully, my cast has made this really easy for me because I am a part of a number of those things. I think the only thing I will be adding is LFTA will be back on Tuesday for Cold Iron, our Changeling to Lost game set in Soviet Russia. We will then be back on Thursday for Redacted, our psychological horror game. Friday, Season of Secrets and Shadows, and then Saturday and Sunday, 6 games, Extra Life event weekend. It is going to be a time. We have Girl by Moonlight, we have Scum and Villainy, we have a Monster of the Week game, we have a couple D&D games. It is a lot. It is going to be 2 wild days. I will be here most of that time in some capacity, whether I am running tech or playing in one of the games. I am not running them because I am already running 3 games this week, and I did not want to die over next weekend. But it'll be a great time. You should check it out. We will not be raising money for Rainbow Railroad. We will be raising money for Extra Life. We have a pretty high goal, so we would love for you to come out and check out those games and donate if you are able. And for all other things that I do, follow me on the socials. It is JD, not Jason Dean, everywhere. So that is where you are most likely going to discover where I will be, what I will be playing, who I will be playing with, and all of those fun things. But I think with that, we are going to disappear. We are going to find someone to raid. I am not sure quite who at this moment because I do not have my LFTA Twitch open on my side screen, but we will find someone, hang around for that, and thank you for coming out. Thank you for donating. I will let you know we will be letting any unused items on our various counters from donations tonight roll over into that next session. So, those 4 teeth that I didn't use, I still have them to do fun things with. And it's going to be a good time. And Antigone has, I believe, all of the ouchies on the ouchie counter.
I do.
I have
Are
all
those
my
teeth
follicles,
canine
too.
teeth?
They
Or
can be.
Are they teeth that are slightly too large to fit into a human mouth?
I mean, it's Chekhov's jawbone. Who knows how that's shaped?
We won't know until we know.
We won't know
And by
until
then
we
it
know.
will be too
Too
late.
late. I forgot that you had 4 also. Oh no.
I didn't need to use any. Y'all made your own problems. And we'd love to see it.
Isn't that what we
Make
said at
great
the beginning of the
decisions.
episode? We're going to make our own problems and make our own solutions.
That is absolutely the case.
And there is no god in this Chili's
Except
tonight.
you said
We
that
don't
Vale
need
was
God.
Petra's problems. That Vale was the fuck around and Petra was the find out. But I think today we discovered it was in fact the opposite.
I
Yeah.
think that is correct.
Oh my god, are we like taking after each other or something? Are we like
Oh
besties? Oh my
my
god.
God.
It's like so cute.
It's so cute. Besties.
I was going to say, I mean, out of the two, Vale made the much more measured decisions.
We've both been learning from each
Go
other,
figure.
and that is everyone else's problem.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is a real big problem right now.
It's fine.
Oh, when we're getting back together.
All according to plan.
And so we will see what happens next with this crew. We will find out where the resurrected monster is because it hasn't appeared here yet. And we will see what happens with that monster and the ones that follow and what knowledge about the Corvus Dominion will help to ultimately end the war. But with that, we will go find someone to raid and say goodnight, cast.
Good night,
Good night,
cast.
cast.
Good night, cast.
Good night.